That's it.
Definitely. So, no, looking forward to a good 3 days of competition here at the Scottish Open National Championships. Heats in the morning and afternoon, so faster heats in the morning with the generally younger swimmers and slower heats in the afternoon, then finals kicking in later on in the day. Same events in each of the morning and afternoon sessions and finals. Got some relays over this championship as well. Always good fun having some relays, and good selection of swimmers here. Strong para contingent, I think, Paul.
Yeah, it was a para event I was out in Berlin for last week, so looking forward to seeing some of the para swimmers. Some have already qualified for the World Championship, so we'll see some people here that will be competing in the World Champs in Singapore a little bit later on. But here's what we've got in store this morning. Start off with the individual medley for female swimmers. Male and open swimmers go down the distance in the IM for 200 metres individual medley. 100 freestyles for both, 100 breaststrokes for both, 50 backstrokes for both, 200 butterfly for both. And then we have a couple of relays. I think two heats of the relays, haven't we?
Yep.
And
mixed.
some of the events we have the fastest heat swimming in the final session tonight. So
good. And mixed medley. Apparently the Scottish record last night at the under-23 championships, where the Scottish team, they swam a Scottish team and they blasted the Scottish record apparently. So well done to them. See how we get on. And there are 2 meets going on at the moment this weekend, aren't there? There's Seti Coley and there's the under-23 championship. So this is a good opportunity for some of the folk who are just below those levels to come and shine at these Scottish National Championships. So looking forward.
It's a busy time of the season.
It is very busy. There's a lot going on this year, isn't there? So there'll be the British Summer Champs later in July, and then we've got the Worlds as well. Singapore.
There's a lot happening in Singapore. The World Aquatics World Championships, the World Para Swimming Championships, and I think World Aquatics is all the disciplines as well, isn't it? It's the
diving as well.
Yeah, diving, and I was going to say synchro. It's not synchro now. Artistic
swimming, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Better get the terminology right.
Absolutely. So it looks like we're gearing up to go here. So we've got 400 IM, as Paul said. We've got 4 heats this morning in this one, and first 2 heats will be normal ranking, and then we'll go into seeded heats in the heats 3 and 4. The swimmers are just getting themselves ready.
Of course, we'll try and bring you the results, and we'll get a summary of the results after all the heats are done. So generally, it's the top 8 swimmers that will progress to the finals tonight, but of course we do have the heats this afternoon and opportunities for the swimmers to progress from those heats as well, Tony, although they are slower ranked. But I've seen some people before swimming the afternoon heats and forced their way into a final.
Yep.
So all provisional. If we do give you a list of finalists, it's all going to be provisional, and we have a few scoreboard issues in the venue as well. The big scoreboard at the far end there is not working, so that's going to be a challenge for us.
Yeah, normally we use both, but anyway, we'll be fine. And there are A and B finals on multi-class vacation finals this evening. So good opportunities for people to final. Here we have the first heat. Leah Rafferty, Western Bartonshire in 1. Thea Glenn from City of Glasgow in 2. Megan Ferris from Cumbernauld in 3. Rebecca Somerville, University of Aberdeen Performance in 4. Katie Ray from Gary in 5. Leonie Bedborough from Heart of Midlothian in 6. And Lauren Cantley, University of Aberdeen Performance in lane 7. So 100 of fly, back, breast and free each in this event. And it's looking like lane 3 has gone out pretty fast. Megan Ferris on the East Coast Pride meet recently. Megan. And entry time for her 5:27. So a lot of these swimmers, many of them will be swimming at other meets through the summer still to come. So quite a few of these guys will be potentially just using this as a mid-season or mid to getting to end of season race. Not many may be tapered, I wouldn't think. A lot of them will be swimming through. So it'll be a good gauge of where they are. Still probably in reasonably heavy training for a few. But we're hoping to give them a good marker for the meets that they might be doing later on in the summer.
Yeah, difficult to tell, isn't it, where these swimmers are going to be. We'll keep an eye on the times, though. And swimmers in the centre, you mentioned Megan Ferris there, come on all. She's the youngest swimmer in the entire field here, just 13 years of age. So it was a good start from her. She's in 4th place just now. Katie Ray coming through from Gary. She's only 14 years of age as well. So the two youngsters going well in the early stages.
Yeah.
Of course, Gary have a little bit of history in 400 IM, you would
Just
say.
a wee bit, yeah. Current Scottish senior record holder, Hannah Miley. That's becoming one of the longer standing records, isn't it? 4:31:33. I mean, Katie Shanahan is pushing hard on her, but at the moment, it's still Hannah Miley's Scottish record.
Yeah, I mean, Hannah was fantastic, wasn't she? When you think about the number of events that she did, the number of Scottish records she holds, and she still holds after
10 years at least.
No, it's more. I think it's more than that. It's more
I think Commonwealth Games was 2014, wasn't it? So that's what she did. But anyway, it's been a long time and still up there with the ranking. Just shows how much of a quality swimmer she was.
I did speak to Hannah Miley once when, about 5 years ago, just prior to COVID, because she always did multiple events. And we were trying, she was still doing multiple events at that time. I think it must have been like 2019 possibly. And I asked her, like, how many Scottish championships has she won? How many titles had she won? And she was like, I don't know. I'm going to have to count it. And then she came back that night and it was just a ridiculous number.
74 or something.
It's like, what? It's like, yeah. I did my first one whenever it was, like when I was 13 or something. It's like, oh my goodness.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, she's still in swimming, and she was doing some on the the World Champ Trials back in London in April. She did a couple of sessions with the TV crew and was given her sort of post-swimming kind of life. She's still very much in it and interested, so it's good to see. She's got a young child now as well, hasn't she?
Yeah, she did a bit of commentary actually. She was doing some commentary for the 400 IMs as well, and great to see Hannah still involved. And our teammate, the youngster, is Katie Ray, still right there in the mix. There, not much to choose between all of these.
This is pretty close, isn't it? Coming through strong in 5. It's Katie Ray there from Gary. It's been a good breaststroke. I think we've got that right. It's very strong breaststroke from Katie. She's really come through on this one, hasn't she? 14-year-old from Gary. She's finalist at Snags earlier in the year and did her entry time at the University of Aberdeen meet back in the spring, and she's looked really strong on this breaststroke here.
I think it's Edinburgh, isn't it? Line 6.
Leonie Bedborough, sorry, Leonie.
And, two yellow mark lanes as we're looking at it are 4 and 5, just for everyone watching on the live stream back home.
Orientating myself.
I know. I was on a 10-lane pool last week, so it's going to be difficult now.
It's funny. It does take a while to get your head around the 8s and the 10s. So somebody missing from lane 8. That's what threw me.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, this has been a super swim from Leonie.
Yeah.
She's coming in with 50 to go, 4:49.88 at the turn there. So her entry was 5:27.8. So this is going to be a good swim from her. Looking like she's going to be in and around her entry if she can keep that kind of 50 pacing up. And she comes in and she's got a clear lead here. This is a lovely swim from the Hart swimmer. She'll swim in this pool pretty regularly, I would think, a number of mornings a week. And in she comes, and that's a super swim, 5:25.77. So that's a couple of seconds up on her entry, so she'll be super pleased with that. Alta Midlothian swimmer there, Rebecca, coming in at a 5:32, as you can see on the screen, and Katie ended up in 3rd. 5:33.54. That was a nice heat swim. Good race to get us going there. And hopefully Leonie has set the standard for the rest of the meet with a nice couple of second PB. So
yeah, it's just went away in the second half there. That breaststroke was important, wasn't it?
yeah, super impressive breaststroke from her. There's a result confirmed. That's the first heat done and dusted. Swimmers lining up now for heat 2 as well. And in this one we have in lane 1 Chloe Brotherton from South Tyneside, Lisa McNair from Stirling Swimming in 2, Inga Eriksson, Nexus in 3, Ellen Denny from Gary, another Gary swimmer here in lane 4, Derwentside and Gateshead's Abby Whitfield in 5, South Lanarkshire's Kirsty Gilmore in 6, Amy Rowell from City of Glasgow in 7, and Katie Aitchison, youngster from Warren de Baths in lane 8. And, pretty even across the pool at the moment in this one. Not a lot between them. Not surprising, I suppose, on this 50 in. But they are really pretty tight. Maybe lane 3. So that's Inga Eriksson, the Nexus swimmer.
Where's Nexus from then, Tony?
Well, it says SGP here, so I'm wondering if that's Singapore.
Ah, right, okay.
But that's a guess. I should probably know, but I think it probably is.
SGP, yeah, I would say that. That's a good guess.
Yeah. And going well in 8, Katie Aitchison, youngster from Warrender. East District champion. Just missed out on the medal at Snags earlier in the year, where she set this entry time, and it's between her and Kirsty Gilmore, City of Glasgow, South Lanarkshire swimmer, 19-year-old, and Katie. Oh, Katie coming in 5th there, but very, very tight across what you can see in the pool there. 1, 2, 5 swimmers reasonably in line. Chloe Brotherton, South Tyneside, always a good showing from the northeast of England at these meets in Edinburgh, whether it's Edinburgh International, whether it's the Scottish Open or the Scottish Short Course. They do come up in big numbers, which is great to see. And it is one of those swimmers, Chloe Brotherton, who's taken a lead on this backstroke. Very strong backstroke leg here from her. And she's got herself nearly a couple of seconds lead on Katie. So it is the two 14-year-olds.
Yeah, the outside lanes.
Bookending this race, outside lanes.
Oh.
You do often get that. Outside lanes going well, and Kirsty's, Chloe, has really gone out strong in this backstroke.
I do like a nice spearhead in the field, but
almost got a reverse one.
Almost, yeah.
Not quite, but
the IM, something, with the different strokes.
Yeah, let's see whether we get.
They'll all sort themselves out. The breaststrokers might come back into it in the later stages, and that's how I quite like an IM. I never swam a 400 IM that much myself. What about you, Tony?
No.
You've been doing a bit of swimming these days.
Breaststroke is a non-existent thing for me. I would do fine in the flying back, and then I would be miles behind by the end of the breaststroke. So, tend to give that a miss, I think. So, yeah, it's see whether the breaststrokers are coming through, and it is closing up a wee bit. You can see here, especially lane number 6. So Kirsty Gilmore, South Lanarkshire swimmer, who was up there in the fly. Lane 5 coming through strong, isn't it? Abby Whitfield from Derwentside and Gateshead.
It's incredible breaststroke. Wow.
You'll see on the screen at home at the end of each turn, they do give you the 50 splits. So we'll be able to get a gauge as to how much faster on this breaststroke Abby has been to the rest of the field.
Well, look at that.
She's 5 seconds up on some of them. So let's see whether she can make that pay in this second 50. And she really is coming through now, as Paul predicted. All of a sudden, we're back to 6 people in the race here, as these breaststrokers have come piling through on this one. And Abby in particular has absolutely taken this one. I think she turned 7th or 8th at the start of this breaststroke leg, and it looks like she's going to be turning first.
Question is, though, Tony, has she
hold on?
expended all her energy on the breaststroke now?
So there's
that's the thing, yeah?
two kind of sides to this, isn't there? She's got the momentum, so she can really take that into the freestyle, but has she taken up too much energy in getting her there. Look at that. That was a faster 50 than the last one. 43 in the last 50, 42 on that one. What a super breaststroke leg from Abby, and she has ripped this field apart on that one. As she's in the head in the freestyle, but is Inga Eriksson going to catch her back up? Not out of it in lane 6 as well, with Kirsty Gilmore, who was leading at the fly. Is she going to come back on this freestyle as well? But this is a nice little race now between Abby and Inga, and Kirsty's not out of it.
Yeah, 9 100s there between the two at that last turn. Inga Eriksson again just gone a second faster, as you can see, of Abby Whitfield there. Abby's still looking good. Inga's gone to the legs a little bit, gone to the feet there. So Abby Whitfield have a very strong kick on that first 50 metres there of the freestyle. Inga Eriksson almost trailing the legs on that first 50, but she's gone to the feet there for that second, and that's been decisive, I think. But excellent swims there. Nice little contest there for Inga Eriksson and Abby Whitfield. 5:19.68, just a second or so outside her entry time. Abby Whitfield again just a couple of seconds outside her entry time, but nice little race there, Tony. That was a nice one, wasn't it?
The proverbial race of two halves, that one, wasn't it? It's,
well done, Abby Whitfield, for coming back from so far back in the early stages. But well done, Inga Eriksson from Nexus, Singapore.
We'll go with that until we're told different.
Yes.
And there's no flags to help us. Edinburgh International, there's usually flags sitting up on the on the side of the pool to tell you where all the countries come from. But none of that support here today, so we'll just have to make it up, shall we say. Educated guesses.
Yes, exactly.
So into this third heat. Caris Mooney, 18-year-old from City of Glasgow in 1. Millie Searle from Gary in 2. Constance Logan, Crawley swimmer in 3. Anna Farrow from Bath University in 4. Evie O'Halloran Hutchison in 5 from Derwentside and Gateshead. Lily Mundell, Heart of Midlothian in 6. Isabel Fox, Derwentside and Gateshead in 7. And Ava Smith from Gary in lane 8. So strong start from Anna, the Bath University swimmer. Regular visitors to this pool, Bath University, and got another few swimmers up as well. And it's here's Anna in lane 4, 20-year-old from Bath, second fastest into this event. 4:50 was her entry time. National squad member, and was a finalist at British Champs earlier in the year, turning in a 1:06.8, with Evie O'Halloran Hutchison and Lily Mundell not too far behind. Lily, junior national squad member, up and coming youngster, and she's not too far off the pace, but it's still Anna Farrow here.
Yeah, you said, Tony, it's got some top performers here. You know, you're talking about British Championship finalists, you've got British Championship medalists as well. Kind of all the way through the programme, haven't we? We've got people we've kind of been on the cusp of the international teams. As you said, it's quite a busy time, and people obviously away already at training camps for the World Aquatics Championships, which are just in a few weeks' time, I think.
Not far away.
Yeah, so you know, we're not going to see any of the British team here at these championships, but we're seeing some of the guys who were in those British Championship finals and very close to making places in those teams.
Yep, that's good to see, and an opportunity for some of the junior swimmers as well to come through and get final swims. But Anna is clear in the lead, but as we saw in the last heat, that can change very quickly. But 2:24.67, and she's still pretty clear, is Anna. Coached by Mark Skimming down there in Bath, and she's looking strong. Staying with her, Eva O'Halloran Hutchison, Derwentside and Gateshead swimmer, national squad member again. She's a regular to these meets. Up here, the 18-year-old just missed out on a medal at Scottish National Short Courses in this pool, and finalist at British Summer Champs last year. Going well in 2 as well. We've got Millie Searle from Gary, so another of these Gary swimmers has been won in every single one of these heats. Another 14-year-old coming through on that breaststroke into third, nearly second place there. Strong breaststrokers up in Gary. Freestyle, distance freestyle and medley seems to be the runs in the blood up there. And national age group champion Millie, our youth academy member, where she did her entry time of 5:09. She's given Evie a good push here.
It's good stuff at the front of the field here. We are in the, of course, in the cyclically seeded heats, so these are some of the top performers in this one. I think in the 400s there are 2 cyclically seeded heats. In the 100s and the 200s there'll be 3, so that's where you're. This is the second last heat, so that means that Anna Farrow is the second ranked swimmer in the entire field, and she's certainly making sure of that place in the top 8 if this result is confirmed. Again, with only 1 seeded heat to come, you're in the top 3 positions here. You're looking pretty good, but of course it's the fastest 8 swimmers from any of the heats that will qualify for that, so not necessarily if you're in the top 2 or top 3 you'll be guaranteed a place in that final. But generally, if there's 2 seeded heats, you're looking at maybe to finish in that top 3 to guarantee a place in that final.
I think that would be pretty clear, unless we get a big distinction between the heats, which does happen. And the first of these seeded heats, they often, they don't know what's coming, so they try and pace it, and if they don't just quite get that pacing right, it can cause them problems in terms of finals. At 5:02.74, it's a very comfortable swim there by the looks of it for Anna. Evie 5:06. She was in just under 5 minutes, and Millie Searle 5:08, and that's an improvement on her entry time for the Gary swimmer. So I think that is a PB. She had her entry time was her PB, so that's a good sign of things to come for the rest of the summer of Millie, I would think. Getting into third, you'd think that would just about get her a place in the final. And Constance Logan, little sister of Scottish International Arthur, was in 4th, and she'll just have to wait and see whether she's going to get into a final later on today.
Yeah, 5:14.82 for Constance Logan, so we'll see what this final heat comes up with. We've got all the 8 swimmers here. Catherine Boddy, University of Aberdeen Performance. Amber Hinton from Dumfries goes into Newligau, University of Aberdeen Performance in 3. Susie McNair, University of Stirling in 4. Evie Mackey, South Lanarkshire in 5. Alice Cumming, City of Glasgow in lane number 6. Rosie Forster from Warrender Baths in 7. And right at the top, Jessica Arundel from Bath University up there in lane number 8. So centre lanes going well. Susie McNair and Evie Mackey. Again, 2 swimmers be hoping to make that top 8. You would think they'd be favourites to take medals in this 400 IM, these 2.
You got to think so. 4:49 entry for Susie. Very outstanding young talents. At University of Stirling now, moved from Stirling's local Stirling team into the university this year, so this is her transitioning into those performance setups out of club swimming. 104.5. Evie Mackey, another really promising young swimmer, 16-year-old national age group champion. She was just missed out on 3rd place at the junior final at the British Championships, Evie, and just beaten in that junior final by Susie, who she was 2nd, and Evie was 4th. And it is these 2 who are pulling away from the rest. Nuala Gow in 3, another ex-Gary swimmer. So we've had sort of Gary representation in all 4 heats. We'll call that one, won't we? We can claim Nuala as an honorary Gary.
It's kind of split up a wee bit in the pool there, isn't it? There's 2 groups of 3 on either side. having close contests, but the two favourites out ahead in front as they come down to the halfway point. And yeah, Susie McNair be looking again. We're not going to see fireworks from Susie McNair and Evie Mackey, you wouldn't have thought, in the heats this morning. But looking very, very comfortable. It's a great backstroke.
She does look very smooth on that. Still absolutely, completely still head. Looked very, very comfy. I'm sure she was working, but made it look pretty simple. And she's not really got a weak stroke, Susie. She's pretty strong across all four. And it's still those two. See if there's any strong breaststrokers coming through. Making a bit of a move, Rosie Forster there in lane 7. Warren the swimmer, and down here in 1 and 2, Catherine Bodie and Amber Hinton, 15-year-old Amber. Another one of the rising stars of Scottish swimming, junior national squad member, national age group champion in this event. So she's in with much older swimmers in this seeded heat. And she's not showing it well here. She's going to get touch third maybe. Still Susie and Evie well clear.
Oh, places in this final certainly up for grabs here, Tony, aren't they?
Yeah.
Very close contest. Nuala Gow with a great breaststroke again. We saw that in the previous heat from Abby Whitfield coming from behind. I think Nuala Gow is probably coming through into third place. That might be good enough to secure her a place in that final, but a place in that top 8, you know, you're looking kind of like the high or into the 5 teens sort of thing.
I think so. I mean, they have got the B final as a safety net, but they'll all really want to be getting in that A final. That's a nice target to make. Not getting the splits there. Just looking at the pool, but Susie's now 6 seconds up, third place with Nuala, as you can see, but it's very tight for 4th, 5th and 6th, and that could be really important in that race behind Nuala to see which of these swimmers get into that A final. As we have said, there are afternoon swims, and you do get people swimming from the afternoon into the B final, not often into the A final. So I think once has happened, but very infrequently. So really, these swimmers really gunning to get in that A final, but no doubt about somebody who is going to be in that. That's Susie McNair, still looking very relaxed. She's got lovely long rangy strokes. Susie looks effortless, but I'm pretty sure it's not entirely effortless. I mean, she's not going to be near her entry time, but regardless how you swim a 400 IM, I don't think it's ever easy.
No, absolutely. She's still looking very, very good. Evie Mackey coming back now in the closing stages, but Susie McNair, 4:58.97. That's the fastest we have seen. Evie Mackey did come back by about a second and a half there.
And
Nuala Gow has just been overtaken by Amber Hinton. 5:09. They should all make it into that final. I think Alice Cumming will make it as well.
Yep.
As it stands, of course, with the afternoon to come. But yeah, Alice Cumming will take that final spot, I think.
Yep.
So might be 5. Is it going to be 5? Yeah, 5 and 3, I think. Is that right?
I think so. Let's see where we get
from
to.
The previous one.
So Catherine might just be missing out, as might Constance. There you go.
Yeah, Alice coming in there. Susie McNair leads them through. Anna Farrow in second, and Evie Mackey as well. They'll have more to come. Sure, we'll see them dip under the 5-minute mark, maybe well under the 5-minute mark.
That should be a good race, I think.
Yeah, they look pretty good, pretty comfortable.
Yep.
And of course, if you do make it into the A final as a junior, that kind of takes precedence, doesn't it, for the medals?
Yep.
So if you do make it into the A final in the heats and you're a junior, even if you go slower in the final with someone in the B final,
you still get the title.
Get that title.
Indeed. So. A number of juniors in there though, so that's going to have a good junior race, I think. It's 16 juniors at this, isn't it? Under 17, I think, at the end of the year. So yeah, we've got Evie there, and Millie, and Amber. So looking forward to that race already. I think 5:30 finals kick off.
Yeah, should be a good night of action. Be on the iPlayer, BBC.
It is. It's on the iPlayer as well tonight.
Scottish Champs. final sessions only. So there are the swimmers for the 200 IM, male and open. So it's all para swimmers. And there is a para final for some of the events. There isn't a para final for the 400 IM, but there are para finals for the events that are swum in the Paralympic Games. So 200 IM is one of those events, and we have a whole field of para swimmers. Thomas Navarro-Barber, closest to us. He swims in the SM9 classification. Lewis Jones, one line up from him, also in the SM9. Jude Gunnar in the SM14 classification in lane 4. Jack Milne from University of Aberdeen Performance, he goes in lane 5 in the SM14 class. And 2 swimmers in the SM8 classification. Akash Das and Max Davies, they go in 6 and 7. So again, just in para swimming, the prefix for this class is SM, so we'll see some S races and SB. So SM just indicates it's a medley race, SB a breaststroke race, and S prefix is for all the other strokes. And in para swimming, we have classifications 1 to 14. 1 to 10, those are physical impairments, where 1 is the most impaired and 10 is the least impaired. 11 to 13, those are visual impairments. S11 swimmers with no vision, and 12 and 13 swimmers with partial vision. And these 2 swimmers at the front of the field in the SM14 class, so they are swimmers with an intellectual impairment. And we will... The places in the final, Tony, will be decided by how close the swimmers get to their standard time, and that will generate a points total, so 1,000 points equivalent to a world record swim or thereabouts. So that's how the para events will pan out.
Yep.
We'll have a final later on tonight for this one, and Jack Milne going great in lane number 5.
Looks very strong, doesn't he? And thanks for that guide there, because it's good for people to understand how this all works out. And so often in these races, you know, swimmers are quite far apart, but actually doesn't always the person who finishes the race first that because they they'll swim all the classifications together. So the
different classifications have different standard times, different target times, and Jack Milne doing a great job here. He was the Scottish record holder in this SM14 class.
Jude's coming back strong, isn't he? He's coming through, but this is a cracking swim from Jack, isn't it?
He's a strong butterfly and freestyler, Jude Gunnar, but the middle part of the race belonged to Jack Milne. He has that entry time of 2:22.95, nice. And look at that, 2:22.01. So ahead of Jude Gunnar in the heats. Lewis Jones going well in lane number 3, 19-year-olds. Lewis Jones.
And we've got a large contingent of the Team GB para swimmers. Presumably, is that in prep for Worlds, or are these swimmers who aren't going to be at Worlds? Or are these
some of the swimmers are going to Worlds. None of these guys have qualified so far. There is another qualification opportunity at in Sheffield in a few weeks' time in summer meet. So a number of these swimmers will be going to Sheffield and trying to make those standard times. They have had an initial selection of the team. I think there was, now you're testing me, 14 or 15 that got picked. So
and is there a capacity space, or is it?
There is capacity, I think the maximum is going to be 28, I think.
Right.
So there is a lot of space, but
and will that selection be determined purely on what happens at Sheffield, or will they look back at things that have happened in April as well, if people can fill in, or have they picked everybody who should be, who has qualified already? Is that?
Guaranteed selection will be based if you make the time, but as always,
discretion.
The selectors have some discretion to pick people in, and relay combinations as well. So para swimming, it's quite interesting with the relay combinations, because it's a number of points in the relays for the physically impaired. So the number of points in your classification have to add up to, say, 34 points, for example. So you might be slightly off the target time but if someone else goes faster, it might bring you into contention. Someone else with a different classification.
Sounds very complicated.
Yeah, so I mean, I suppose if
there's
you're 34 points.
There's a few spreadsheets going on in that one.
Oh, exactly. I love it. I love it. So yeah, the selectors have got a tough job.
Tough job.
Yeah.
As much
I think we'll have a strong team.
Selection.
Have a strong team in Singapore.
Excellent.
All you got to do is just put your head down and go as fast as you can. There's nothing else you can do about it.
Good advice. Good advice. So into this second heat, we have Taylor Hutton from Carnegie in 1, Aidan Anderson from University of Aberdeen Performance in 2, Luke Littler, Derwent and Gateshead in 3, Harry Stewart, SM14 Team GB swimmer in 4, Luke Garrity from Inverclyde in 5, Sam Ross from Warnder in 6, Jason van der Merwe from Team GB, SM14 classification swimmer, and University of Aberdeen Performances, James Aberdeen. And still pretty tight here on this breaststroke, lane 3 maybe. Luke Littler, Derwent and Gateshead swimmer, another regular visitor to the Royal Commonwealth pool. And he's been pushed hard though in 4 by Harry Stewart.
Yeah, it was a good breaststroker, Harry Stewart. He was part of the GB team in Paris, and he just missed out on the medals actually in that breaststroke, finishing in 5th position in that very, very close final. So good breaststroke, and that's brought him back into contention here.
Yeah, good push here from lane 6, Sam Ross from Warren de Baths, and he's really trying hard, and it's very close across all 3 swimmers here. And who's going to get the edge? Could be Harry, I think. Has he got the arms, or is it Sam? Oh, Harry does, just by 2 100s. I thought Sam had got that, but Harry showed his experience there. Paralympian coming in 2:19.67. That's not far off his entry. Sam Ross 2:19.69 again, just off his entry. And Luke Littler was edged out, having led that race for so long. He just got here. I think he was only behind in the last 2 or 3 metres, which is when it counts. So super swim there from Harry.
Yeah, it was a good shout there. Sorry, 5 metres out. I was thinking, I'm not sure if Harry's going to take this one.
I didn't think he was. I know, I wasn't convinced. I thought Sam had just edged him out. But I say a bit of experience coming in there from Harry.
Yeah, that's good news for him as he builds towards Sheffield in a few weeks' time. Watch out for him in the breaststroke though. Well, of course,
if he's doing that, is he doing that later on?
I would imagine he would be. That's his kind of time. Oh, there we go, disqualification, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it is the man that we talked about earlier, Luke Littler.
That's a shame. Technical infraction, not sure what that is. Yeah, no, Harry is doing he's in the final heat of the breaststroke.
There's a line-up for the next heat, heat number 3 of the 6 heats. Jack Philpott, Derwent and Gateshead. Maxim Shrumrilla from University of Stirling. Dave Finlayson from Glenalbin. Logan Jackson from University of Aberdeen Performance next to his teammate Ben McLaughlin. They go in 4 and 5. Taylor Sinclair from Elgin in 6. Kai Connolly from South Lanarkshire in 7. And Miller Cunningham from Glenrothes in the outside lane. And looks like a positive start there. Maxim Shrumrilla from University of Stirling. He's the oldest in this field, in this heat.
It's like a rocket.
Yeah, one of the oldest in the entire field as well. 25-year-old from University of Stirling, but yeah, he's gone out really fast. High turnover on the backstroke as well. And he's got an advantage here as they go into halfway. Not much to choose between anyone else in the field though.
No, he's absolutely ripped them apart on this flying backstroke. See what happens. I mean, it's only 50 breaststrokes, so there's less chance for the breaststrokers to come back on the 200 IM. So, you know, they're going to have to come back really, really strong to take on Maxim here. This is a super swim from him. And 2:17 entry. We'll just keep an eye on that. Making her move now in lane 3. Dare Finlayson from Glenalbin, our swimmer, each 16-year-old. And they are coming back at Maxim a wee bit, but it's pretty close. Beyond the first 2, you've got 5 swimmers there in lanes 4 up to 8. not a lot between any of them, really. Maybe pushing through in 7. Kai Connolly, South Lanarkshire swimmer. He's maybe making an edge, but still Maxim got a good body length at least over Dare Finlayson, the Irish swimmer. Is Dare going to come back and take Maxim? He's really battled out from the front, Maxim. Is he going to get touched out at the end? Very strong finish here in 5 from Ben McLaughlin, the University of Aberdeen swimmer, ex of Geary. Strong at the back end of the race, and look at this from Ben. My goodness, has been known as a distance freestyler, but my, what a last 50 freestyle from him. He absolutely piled it on, and he takes that one in a 2:16.85. That was a super 50. He came from nowhere, didn't he?
Maxim felt the pace a little bit there at the end, but still came back with a 2:19.40 for 4th position. But Ben McLaughlin, what a great swim. 29 point on that final 50. Wow.
That was excellent. And he looked strong, didn't he? So I think we can expect to see him later on in some distance freestylers and probably 400 IM. Let's
brilliant. Seeded heats coming up now tonight?
Yep. 3 of these. As Paul said earlier, in the 2s and the 1s, you get 3 seeded heats. So in this one, just for those who aren't acquainted, when we mean seeded, we take the fastest qualifier goes in the centre lane of the last heat, the second fastest qualifier goes in the centre lane of the second last heat, and the third fastest qualifier goes in the centre lane of the third heat and rotates around. So you should more likely to get your lovely arrowhead in these races because they are seeded quite clearly, where the centre lanes are faster and the outside lanes get slower. But we'll wait to see how this one plays out. Ethan Collins in 1 from Stirling Swimming, another Glenalbyn Irish swimmer, Ian Middleton in 2, Benjamin Beale, Derwentside and Gateshead swimmer, Angus Allison from University of Stirling in 4, Hubert Gdanyak, Bath Uni in 5, Royce Kringellis from City of Glasgow in 6, Rory Webster, Dumfries in 7, Conan Swinney, another Derwentside and Gateshead swimmer in 8, and there's lanes 4 and 5 as well as lane 1 here, Ethan Collins taking this one out.
Yeah, Collins was fast on the butterfly, still holding on to 3rd maybe. Yeah, just about there. Angus Allison with a very good backstroke though, and onto the breaststroke just over the 1 minute mark. So entry time of 2:05.60, and Gdanyak and Allison out in front of the field. You said, Tony, these are 2 that are ranked inside the top 8, so expect them to be in the final again with 2 seeded heats to come. You've got to be thinking not in the top 3 this time, but in the top 2 to try and secure your place into that final. But looking good is Angus Allison. Again, one of the experienced campaigners, Angus Allison.
Yeah, used to train in this pool many times when he was at Inverleith and then Warrender. And he's looking strong actually, isn't he? He's come back, he's had a good season, Angus, and back end of his IM is generally the strongest, very strong breaststroker, and he, renowned for never giving up, Angus, really pushes hard right to the end, and here he comes in this heat swim, 2:07, 2:08.45, so that's a solid heat swim for him, and I'm sure he'll be hoping that will be enough. I think these next heats would have to really go some to get 8 swimmers faster than him on that one. So I think Angus secured his place. Hubert, I think should be okay, but we'll just have to wait and see whether.
It's close for 3rd, look at that. 4 100s, Benjamin Beale taking that one. Wonder if that's going to be vital. Wonder if we're going to get a swim off this morning. That'll be exciting.
Like a swim off, don't we?
Aye. There we are, heat number 5, penultimate heat of this 200 IM. Conor Aspinall, East Lothian. Going closest to us in 1, Samuel Jeffrey from Hatfield, and that pink cap going in 2. City of Glasgow's Gregor Ross goes in at 3. Finlay Davis from University of Stirling next to his teammate Cameron Rapson. Peter McGrother in lane 6, Derwentside and Gateshead. Wolverhampton's Matthew Holland goes in 7 and off to a very good start. Finlay Bennett goes to South Lanarkshire in lane number 8. So Holland just touched out at the wall there by Finlay Davis in lane number 4. Finlay Davis, again, one of the favourites, second fastest seed coming in to this event. Another one who was at the British Championships a little bit earlier this year, and that was where he set his entry time, Tony. I think 204.99. So see if he can reproduce some of that form. Some great rangy backstroke there as he comes in to the turn for Finlay Davis.
Looked like he was surprised when he hit the wall there.
Yeah.
Really, he's made that transition to Midlothian swimmer, transitioned into university swimming at Stirling, and he seems to be thriving, really thriving. Made the B final at the British Champs, and junior national squad member. He's looking strong, looking really strong. Again, pretty good across all 4 strokes, Finlay. And he's put a stamp on this one. Teammate Cameron Rapson out there in 5 is pulling back a wee bit, but Finlay's got this one wrapped, I think. It's just whether he wants to push hard on this heat swim or whether he's going to, looks like he's taking it pretty easy on this freestyle leg, I would say.
Yeah, it's almost catch up, isn't it?
It is almost catch up. He started his swim down before he was even finished by the looks of it. Goodness, that's what you call easing up. But, you know, why not? He's first in the heat. Very, very unlikely that all the swimmers in the next heat are going to beat him. But he's really eased back. Goodness. As he comes in. That is one of the most leisurely 50 freestyles in an IM seen for quite a while.
Look at that finish for third. Wow. How many swimmers there? About 6 swimmers coming in, maybe 5 or 6 swimmers coming in altogether. But Finlay Davis, 212 at point 59. That should be good enough. Cameron Rapson, 214.41. Again, should be good enough as well. Is that the same time as that previous heat, third place, 214.41?
Not sure. Wasn't paying attention enough. I need to.
I think it was. We listed down the top 2. I think it was very close. No, it was 45 and 49, wasn't it? So pretty close.
I'll take your word for it, Paul.
We'll find out. We'll find out in a minute.
Showing off now. Right.
Last heat.
Brigham Stesher from Marlins in lane 1. In Latvian swimmer. Lane 2, we have City of Glasgow's Nikolai Cisnet. James Bodie, Gary in 3. Piers Greening from University of Stirling in 4. Josh Press from University of Stirling in 5. Fraser Tetlow, the University of Aberdeen performance swimmer in 6. Richard Kagis, the Latvian swimmer from Marlins in 7. And Lachlan Small from Stirling Swimming in lane 8. Fraser Tetlow, the University of Aberdeen swimmer. I think he was at Gary. So we've had a little smattering of Gary swimmers in these IM races, or ex-Gary swimmers, and it's still out there in lane 6. It is Fraser pushing him hard. Josh Press, the University of Stirling swimmer. And the young star Nikolai Cisnet in lane 2 from City of Glasgow, trying to keep with them. National age group champion Nikolai, only 15.
Yeah, still only 15.
Still
he's been around
15.
for a couple of years,
like
hasn't he?
He's been around for a good few years, and he's really coming through strongly, Nikolai. And but in the lead, it's lane 5. So Josh Press has now taken over from Fraser Tetlow. And it's now Josh Press being followed hard by his teammate from Stirling University, Piers Greening. And Josh Press is coming through to turn 138.67. So he's got a strong, good lead now. A couple of seconds faster than the rest of the field on that breaststroke. James Bodie, Gary swimmer, trying to push through now into third. He's going to have a battle.
Might be looking at a big representation here from this heat.
Yeah.
I think maybe 4 swimmers in with a shout of that top 8 tonight.
I think so. Angus is 2.8 in that first heat, wasn't he? I mean, Finlay went down to 2.12. I mean, he's going to make it, Finlay, but
yeah,
he's not going to be in a centre lane. So, nice swim there, Josh. James Bodie does come through strong. That's a good strong back 100 from James Bodie, 2:12.10, just edging out Piers Greening. Is that going to be the difference? No, they're both, I think they should all be, those three, just about in the final. We'll no doubt hopefully get.
I tell you, Finlay Davis is cut out fine, I think.
I think he
might just make it.
Just made it. It's going to be 6th or 7th, isn't he? Maybe 8th even.
Let's
have a look.
Maybe.
Yeah, 6th.
Oh, no, 6th.
Okay, so he's in. So
Cameron Rapson, just made it as well. He was easing down as well. But
it's your B finalists at the moment. So Samuel Jeffrey will be the one. Oh, it's a dead heat for.
First reserve. Second reserve.
That was first heat. Dead heat for 8th, 7th and 8th. But if anyone goes faster this afternoon, then we will have to have some off territory. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. And it's a possibility, I would have thought, from this afternoon. So that's the lineup, and the para finalists 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think they'll all be in that final. There's only 7 entries. So other than swimmers this afternoon, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting final, isn't it? The likes of Cameron Rapson in the outside lane. So that's going to be quite an interesting little makeup of that final. You could find the winner coming, or medalist coming from the outside lanes in that one. That's going to be a cracker.
Yep.
So the 100 freestyle for female swimmers is underway. We have 8 heats of this one. Para swimmers in the first heat. We have Miriam Binney in lane number 3, who's in the S6 classification. Amy McFarlane goes in lane number 4 for Motherwell and Wishaw in the S14 class. And Olivia Patterson from University of Aberdeen Performance goes in lane number 5. So 2 teenagers, Olivia Patterson and Miriam Binney. We've got the vastly experienced Amy McFarlane now in her 30s, Amy, but still going strong. Great to see her at the Scottish Championships yet again. Another one who has a number of Scottish Championships under her belt. She was a real youngster when she started, Amy McFarlane, and going there in lane number 4, just behind Olivia Patterson at the moment. And great to see her still going strong. We'll just keep an eye on the times. Olivia Patterson, relative newcomer to the Scottish team, para swimming, 1:13.38. And that
nice
is
swim.
a great swim there. Great improvement from her. So well done to Olivia. Amy McFarlane, bang on her entry time again. Well, she's very consistent, Amy, over the years. And Miriam Binney with an entry time of 1:44.10. Let's see how close Miriam can get to this one. I'm just looking for the running clock that we normally have on the scoreboard. We don't have it anymore.
1:48, no.
1:48 for Miriam. We need a stopwatch. Go back to the old days.
Belt and braces should mean we should use a stopwatch in every race, because you shouldn't rely on the electronics, but you only do that after it's broken down once. So
well done, Olivia Patterson.
32, not bad. Still going at 32, isn't it? It's
Amy.
Competitive swimming, and bang on her entry as well. So moving into this next heat, we have in this one a number of Team GB para swimmers. So they're all Team GB para, unless I say otherwise. So we got Iano Winifrith, S7 swimmer in 1. Tia Johnson, S10 in 2. From Derwentside and Gateshead. Ella Litton-Jones, S12 swimmer in 3. Brooklyn Hale, S9 category swimmer in 4. Isabella Haynes, S8 and 5. Connie Ratley, S9 and 6. And Katie Paik from Carnegie in lane 7, S10 swimmer. So where's the form in this one, Paul?
Well, Iona Winifrith was the youngest member of the Great Britain swim team in Paris, and she came away with a silver medal in her signature event of the 100 breaststroke. It's good to see her going over the freestyle. She's a good individual medley swimmer, Iona. She swims in the SM7 classification, or the S7 class, right closest to us. So she's a lower numerical classification than the others in the middle. So expect her to be behind the field, but when we find out about the points a little bit later on, expect her to have a good points total. Brooklyn Hale and Isabella Haynes coming into the wall together. Oh, Brooklyn Hale just taking it by a 1/10 of a second from Isabella Haynes. So well done to those two. Brooklyn Hale 108.01, just outside her entry time. Again, another rising star, Brooklyn Hale. And Isabella Haynes similarly. Another one to watch out for the future. Great Britain have got some excellent prospects. Ella Litton-Jones, the visually impaired swimmer, coming in 3rd position. So that's the top 3 as they finish. One more para swimmer to come. In fact, 2 more, but one in this heat. And that's Faye Rogers going in lane number 2.
Grace Robinson in 1. Faye Rogers, as Paul said, in 2. Gabriella Lessing, round 96 in 3. Louise Connell, City of Glasgow in 4. Sophie Steele from South Ayrshire in 5. And Ava Ross, City of Glasgow in 6. India Leone Bryden, Dundee City Aquatics in 7. And Abby Kane, 13 category swimmer at University of Stirling swimmer in lane 8.
We've got 2 para swimmers in this one.
Do.
Yeah. Sorry, Abby. Missed you out there in the outside lane. Abby Kane, of course, visually impaired swimmer in lane number 8. We'll come back to Abby, but Faye Rogers has been the swimmer very much on form this year. British Championships, we almost lost count of the records that Faye Rogers broke at these British Championships. I think about half a dozen.
She was on fire, wasn't she?
Including one in this event, the 100 freestyle. She swims in the S10 class, so minimal physical impairment for Faye Rogers. And 101.39, that's incredibly quick again from Faye Rogers. 101.00 is a British record.
Wow.
So 0.3 outside her own British record. Abby Kane comes in at 107.56, and it was Sophie Steele that got to the wall first, South Ayrshire swimmer, 101.27. So pretty good swims there at the front of the field.
Wow, this time of the season, you'd think that's got to be looking good. So moving on to heat number 4, Heidi Wren, City of Glasgow in 1. Maya Loon from University of Aberdeen Performance in 2. Maddie Hull, Warner Youngster in 3. Jade Blake, University of Stirling in 4. Molly Irvin-Watson from Dumfries in 5. Kira Pemble, Best in 6. 7, Harriet Oldfield, Anik Dolphins in 8. Inga Eriksson from Nexus. Strong start in 4, Jade Blake, University of Stirling swimmer. Taking a lead on her outside. We've got Molly Irvin-Watson in 3, Maddie Hull. Warner Youngster, national champion in this event, Youth Academy member. But at the moment, it's the older Jade Blake, 22, and Molly Irvin-Watson behind, with Maddie just touching in 3rd. This is pretty tight. Not a lot between these 8 swimmers, really. The 2 at the front end are pulling away, both under the minute in entry. The only 2 in these field that have got under the minute as entry times. So they'll be looking to see if they can repeat that. And it's all to play for 3rd place. Really nothing between the 6 following Jade and Molly. And it's Jade, 59.77. She takes that, so that's a nice couple of tenths improvement for her. So she should be pleased with that one. Really strong final 50 for her. Molly Irvin-Watson just over the minute, 106. And in 3rd it was Heidi Wren out there in lane 1. 61.18 takes 3rd.
Busy morning for Inga Eriksson after
already
that 400
had 2 swims. Yeah. So I suppose if you're coming from Singapore, you've got to make the most of it. If she is from Singapore.
There's a lineup for heat number 5. Another para swimmer. Closest to us, Olivia Newman-Baronius. Amelia Mardell from University of Aberdeen Performance in 2. Lola Burns, Bath University in 3. Melissa Mainwaring from City of Glasgow in 4. Rebecca Reid, Aberdeen in 5. Abigail McInerney from Inverclyde in 6. Georgina Hawkins, Falthouse in 7. And Mary Craig from Edinburgh University goes in lane number 8. And Mary Craig might well be leading them through here, the halfway point.
Oh,
the
nice.
last para swimmer, Olivia Newman-Baronius, she's a Paralympic gold medalist actually, Tony, in the relay.
Very good. Which relay was that?
The S14 4x100 freestyle relay. So Olivia, again, one that's qualified already for Singapore, so we'll see her in the championships. But it's almost a diagonal line here. Mary Craig going really well in that
Storming,
top
isn't
lane.
So Edinburgh Uni was at Stirling before, and she's really powered on in this heat. Looking very, very strong. Coming through in 2 as well, Amelia Mardell, but wow, 59.06 from Mary. That is super swim from her. It's a nice improvement, nearly a second up on her entry time, so she should be pleased with that. Gina Hawkins, just over the minute. In second, Abby McNerney takes third in 1:21. That's a super swim from Mary. Should be peppering.
Yeah.
Just on the peppering, I would say, of a B final if some of these other swimmers don't quite get to their entry standard, but we'll wait and see. But that was a 59.06. Keep an eye on that. Into this 6th heat, Ashley Drake, Warren de Baths in 1. In 2, Dermonside and Gateshead's Emily Maxwell. University of Stirling's Paige van der Vesthuizen. In 3, Drew Mackenzie, Edinburgh Uni in 4. Katie Goodburn, Edinburgh Uni in 5. In lane 6, Melissa Turnbull, University of Stirling. Eve Wood, Orkney in 7. Aquajets and Newcastle's Erin O'Meara in 8. Very strong start in 4. That's Drew Mackenzie. City of Glasgow had a hard season last year. Drew was injured, joined from City of Glasgow, but she's really come back strong this season. She's recovered well. And wow, she's body length on this strong field in this heat here. This is the
that's power.
First of the seeded heats, and she's really pushing on. It looks very, very strong, doesn't she? And she's left the others in her wake. 56.15, 56.62. So that's a nice swim from Drew there. Very good heat swim, and wow, 2.5 up on the rest of them.
Didn't look like she was easing back too much.
No.
Maybe in the last 10 or so. So yeah, maybe another half a second in the tank at least, you would think, for Drew Mackenzie.
So that was a super swim from her. Katie took second. Paige van der Vesthuizen, South African, taking third.
There's the next heat. Caitlin Ibbage going in lane number 1. Natasha Dupree from Millfield in 2. Anna Morgan, Edinburgh University in 3. Jessica Podger and Maisie Guilford, Bath University, they go in 4 and 5. Josephine Klein from University of Stirling in 6. Layla Witherspoon, Heart of Midlothian in 7. And Phoebe Abercolt from Warrender right up there at the top. So that's a fast target from that previous heat. 56.62. And Jessica Podger in lane number 4. The only swimmer with the entry time in the 56 range, 56.0. She's not leading them through at the halfway point though. Maisie Guilford, 27.78. Podger in second, and Anna Morgan, maybe better known as a breaststroker, Anna Morgan, but she's in third place on this 100 freestyle. But Podger now beginning just to push through in the closing stages now, again showing the power in that second 50. And Guilford is trying to hold on the 2 Bath swimmers. It's Podger who has the bragging rights. 57.10 for Podger. Should be good enough. Second place at the moment, Toy?
Yep, so just thinking about Mary Craig's time, 59.06. So she's still, I think, in with a shout of a B final, I think, here, not one of the circle seeded heats. But she's possibly swimming herself into a second race. We will see at the end of this as we move on to the final heat. Rue Fowler, Bath University in 1. Zara Kravitz from East Lothian in 2. Edinburgh University's Cara Slosson in 3. Bath University's Jemima Hall in 4. Catherine Renfrew, Perth City in 5. Holly Widows, Mount Kelly in 6. Mary Mashenko, University of Aberdeen Performance in 7. And Kiana Kutza, the Warrender swimmer, out there in lane number 8. So fastest into this one is Jemima Hall, Bath University swimmer. 55 point, only swimmer under 56 at this meet from the entry times, but going very strong in 6. Holly Widows, Mount Kelly swimmer, and she's looking very, very strong. National Senior Squad member. 55.58, the British Summer Champs last year, so she's actually got an entry time that's a time that is faster than her entry, and she's showing that form here. Going strong in 3. Cara Slosson has had a good season this year. It's pretty close though, isn't it? between Kira and Holly. And it is Holly, 56.38. That's good. 56.76 from Kira. Jemima Hall, 56 as well. So there, all three of them are definitely going to be in that final. And we've just got to wait to see who else makes the mark.
56s are all going to be there. We're into the, in fact, 58s. Katie Goodburn's made just it in as well.
Scraping in.
And it was 58-9.
Mary just missed out.
The final.
That's look at that, very close, 18, 19 and 19. But that was your A and B finals you saw there. Kiana Kurtz are just getting in at the moment, so we need to see if anyone this afternoon can go 58 point. It feels that that's going to be a tough ask, but you never know. So we're now moving on to the male and open 100 free. 8 heats here.
That was a quick fire female 100 free, wasn't it?
We're racing through the races this morning. It's quite a big programme. It's a full programme, only over 3 days, so it does mean each session has quite a number of events.
That was your top 8 again, just flashing on your screen. Katie Goodburn just in there, 58.06 for that final position. Again, we've got a couple of, a few returning swimmers here. I saw them swim in the 200 IM a little bit earlier. 100 freestyle this time for these para swimmers. I think, have we got an empty lane in the centre? Akash Das closest to us in the S8 classification next to Max Davis, also S8. Lewis Jones is an S9, so a lesser impairment than the two on the outside lanes. No one in 4. Bjorn Owen off to a good start there from South Lanarkshire using the S9 classification. Matthew Scott, University of Aberdeen Performance, goes in 6 in the S14. And Sam Downey in lane number 7, another one of the S8s. Again, Sam Downey, probably the one who's got the best international record here, medalist at the World Championships back in 2023 in the backstroke event. And Sam Downey going well at the top there, but right in the centre, the young man from South Lanarkshire is Bjorn Owen, who's been really looking good in recent times, Tony. I wonder if he can just dip under that 1 minute mark. That's a real target for him.
Very strong, isn't he?
Oh, 101.38. That's faster than the entry time for Bjorn. He would just love to get under that 1 minute in the final. I'm sure that'll be good enough for him to make that final. Of course, it's all on points for the para swimmers, so they'll be listed on times. But please check the websites and the official results for the swimmers who make the final in terms of points. Matthew Scott followed him home in 104, and Lewis Jones, also a good swim from him, but well done to Bjorn Owen.
Super swim there, and there are 10 para swimmers swimming in the heat, so not everyone is going to be in a final, so we'll need to look out for those points as we get the results coming through. Moving into heat 2, we've got Thomas Navarro Barber, Team GB in lane 1, Rowan Brennan, Team GB in 2, S10 category, Matthew Holland from Wolverhampton in 3, Lewis Maxwell Pauls, Warren de Baths in 4, Alex Holmes, Glenn Rothis in 5, Patrick Walsh, University of Stirling in 6, Rio Rogers, Basildon S14 swimmer in 7, and Team GB's S14 swimmer Jason van der Merwe is out there in lane 8, and it's a strong start in 5, I think it is. Alex Holmes, the Glen Rothis swimmer, 26.27, and going with him in 3, coming back through now, it is Matthew Holland up from Wolverhampton, 27 years old Matthew. So 12 years between what was the first two at the turn there. Coming back strong in this final 25 is Lewis Maxwell Pauls in lane 4 from Warren de Baths. And is he going to tow? Good final 50 from Lewis, 55.43. Just over his entry time. That was a very strong second 50 from Lewis. Alex Holmes got second. I think Matthew Holland, just edged into 3rd place there.
Yeah, Craig Holmes is the head coach of Glen Rothis. I always I wanted to find out if Alex Holmes was related to Craig Holmes the last time he swam. I never quite made that conversation with Craig, swimmer I used to swim with. Sure, Craig never went 55 point for 100 freestyle.
Big coincidence if he isn't, exactly. I would suppose. But
you never know. Previous convictions for relating people.
Indeed. It's a very, very careful path to tread.
Yes.
Moving on to Heat 3. Harry Cook, Aberdeen Dolphins in 1. Harry Morgan Hughes, Bath Uni in 2. Stuart Clark, Marlins in 3. Ben Davison, Hatfield in 4. Conor Aspinall, East Lothian in 5. Robert Christian, Aquadets Newcastle in 6. Rhys Edwards, Dumfries in 7. And in lane 8, Perth City's Callum Mackenzie's. So entry times for these guys, just so you can get a sense of how they're performing. 54.5 through to 55.1. I'm not sure that you went 15 seconds for his first 50 there, Edward. That would be, Rhys, sorry, that would be pretty impressive. So we'll just have to, the real time at the 50 was around 26.3 for Harry. Very close though. Lane 2, it's coming through. It's Harry Morgan Hughes from Bath University. And we're hot off the press. Yeah. We've had confirmation that Alex Holmes' dad is indeed Craig, his coach. So
there you go.
It's good to, we got one person listening.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Harry Morgan Hughes, 55.17. So just over his entry. Conor Aspinall second, Christian Robert in third.
There's a line-up for heat number 4. James Kilpatrick from Carnegie goes in lane number 1. Ross Anderton from East Lothian in 2. Giuliano Lastroni from Stirling Swim goes in 3. The final para swimmer, I think, is Louis Lawler, twice a Paralympian from City of Glasgow. He goes in 4. Adam Thompson, University of Stirling in 5. Samuel Whitehorn from Midlothian in 6. Callum MacArthur in 7 from Milngavie and Bearsden, and Liam Rumble from Hatfield right up there at the top. Good fast start there from Adam Thompson, 54.30, 25.42, half a second advantage ahead of Lastroni and almost a second ahead of everyone else in the field here. But Thompson, 20-year-old from University of Stirling, 54.30 his entry time. He's been caught up now as the other swimmer is coming back. Lastroni in lane number 3 might just take this one. Lastroni into the wall, and a good second 50 for him. 27.84 was his second 50, fastest of anyone in the pool, and he will take it 53.72. So he'll be delighted with that one. Dip under the 54-second mark, Tony.
Half a second entry improvement on his entry, so Stirling swimmer will be very pleased with that. Heat 5, last of the non-circle seeded heats. Alfie Price, Orkney in 1. Finlay Tsang in 2 from City of Glasgow. Stirling Swimming's Magnus Morris in 3. Lucas Hartley, Hatfield in 4. University of Aberdeen Performance, Kieran Lennox in 5. Marlins, Tishai Harinath in 6. Pierre van der Meulen, Stirling Swimming in 7. And James Lauder, Heart of Midlothian in lane 8. So we've got 16-year-old in 1 and a 28-year-old in 8. So quite a big range of ages going on here. And it's lane 3 though. Magnus Morris, a Stirling swimmer, 25.12. Good first 50, it's pretty close though. It is tight though. Lane 3 is the person who's just edging out. Lane 1, Alfie Price, the Orkney swimmer, trying to stick with him in 1 and also going well in 7. Greer van der Meulen, Magnus's Stirling teammate. It's still going. Oh, who's going to get the edge here? It's between 1 and 3, I think. Good finish in lane 1 from Alfie Price. 16-year-old youngster in the field, 53.08. So that is a really strong swim from him. 8/10 faster than his entry. Finlay Tsang, 53.32 in second, and long-term leader Magnus Morris, 53.38. But that was a super swim there from Alfie.
I wonder if he's going to be going to the Island Games in Orkney in a couple of weeks.
Yep. Swimmers from all over, St Helena, Falklands, you name it. I was speaking to Duncan earlier on, and there's it is the World Island Games.
It is. Cara Hanlon due to swim as well, of course, from the Western Isles.
Yeah.
And Philip Nowacki as well, the young rising star from Jersey, the breaststroker. He's in the entry as well. So, yeah, some top performers.
Yeah. I mean, Britain's an island. Does it not count as an island games thing? It must be under population of under X, maybe. Presumably. I don't know. Australia won't be there either. So, presume it's islands under a certain population. I'm sure somebody knows the answer to that.
Good question, Tony. Good question.
Not really. Right. First of the circle seeded heats. Peter Allen, University of Stirling in 1. Teammate Henry Baker in 2. Liam Molam, who took the 50 there, in lane 3. Finlay Club Edinburgh Uni in 4. Arvin Chahal, University of Stirling in 5. Enrique Mascherano in 6. Zach Slater in 7. Nathan Potter in 8. And very strong swimming here in lanes 2, 3, 4 and 5. And it is 5. Arvin Chahal takes it. Second. Finlay Club 51.09. And third, Leon Molam, who was the early leader, takes that one.
51 point in the third place. Well, again, with 2 more seeded heats to come. It's been right on the cusp there. It's looking like 50 point, 51 maybe. Might be good enough to make that top 8. And the lineup for this 7th heat, Solomon Williams from, no one in 1 actually. We have Zach Speakman, University of Stirling in 2. Brodie Gordon-Gibson goes in 3 for Edinburgh University. Harry Robinson from Crawley in 4. Stephen Kravich, Edinburgh Uni in 5. Jamie Robertson, University of Stirling in 6. Matthew Baker from Bath University in 7. And Logan van der Meulen in the outside lane in lane number 8. So a good start from one of the fastest seeds in the whole field. Harry Robinson, 50.58. That's his entry time. He went through in 24.47. So Harry Robinson looking like he's holding off the challenge here.
Stefan.
And Stefan Kravich coming back in lane number 5, though. It's all very, very close at the finish here. 3, 4 and 5 all coming in together, but Stefan Kravich is going to get that one. Great second 50 there from Stefan Kravich, and Jamie Robertson just gets the touch as well. So Harry Robinson down in 3rd place there, 51.92. I'm not sure that's going to be good enough, Tony.
No.
Not for the A final anyway.
It's tight. Let's see what these guys can do. Lucas Brown, chance for some of these outside laners to go fast and get in that A final. And Lucas Brown, University of Stirling 1, teammate Josh Denham in 2, and Ilka's teammate in 3. Rory McKinnon, City of Glasgow in 4. Jensen Norris from Perth City in 5. Aidan Kay, City of Glasgow in 6. Harry Sharp, Warrender in 7. Callum Peebles, Edinburgh University in lane 8. Fastest in, Rory McKinnon, City of Glasgow, 50.4. It's looking strong, but it's pretty tight on that first 25. Really not a lot between 5 or 6 swimmers here. Still Rory, but on his inside, Aaron Ilkers, University of Stirling swimming is coming through maybe, and it is 24.72, so that's slightly down on the last heat, but we had fast finishes in that last one from Stefan and Jamie. So is anyone going to come back from behind in this one? If anyone, and maybe lane 6, Aidan Kay from City of Glasgow, Rory's teammate. It's very close between these two. Going well in 7, Callum Peebles as well. Who's going to edge it? Is it going to be lane 3 now? It might well be. No, Rory just gets it. 51.41, 100th of a second ahead of Aaron Ilkers. This is going to be tight to get in this A final.
Are they all going to make it possibly? 51.71.
Oh, and we have a disqualification in lane 7 for technical infraction. So, who's going to make this A final?
Not much in it. Josh Denham's going to be close, I think. Yeah, he's in.
Oof,
he's in. 4 from the last heat.
Goodness. Jamie just missing out. Brodie in B as well, down to Zach Speakman. Callum missed out by 100th. So there were your provisional finalists. Didn't get a lot of chance to dwell on them as we were going through, but they will be confirmed later in the day. So finals are at 5:30. So
Alex Holmes there in 40th, son of Craig Holmes.
Now confirmed son of Craig. Well, confirmed to us.
Sounds like a film.
They
son
knew,
of Craig.
They knew it all along.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Just we didn't.
So we're now moving on to the breaststrokes, female and male. 100 breaststrokes to come. And we've got 7 heats in both of these. So into this first one we have in lane 1, Laura Pilkington, Edinburgh University, Amy McFarlane Motherwell in 2, SP14 category, SP12s, Ella Lytton-Jones in 3, Isabella Haynes, SP8 in 4, Brooklyn Hale, SP9 swimmer in 5, Tia Johnson, Dermot and Gateshead in 6, and Merrin Binney, already seen her in the pool, SP6 in lane 7.
Laura Pilkington just there in the shot. She's the Scottish record holder, 205.79. She set that in Sheffield in 2023. So watch out for the time for Laura. Swims in the SB5 classification. So again, she's the lowest numerical classification in the field. That means she's the highest level of impairment in the field. So just keep an eye on the time that Laura is going for. Merrin Binney over on the far side of the pool as well. But the 2 or 3 swimmers right in the centre, Ella Lytton-Jones, another swimmer really coming through the ranks. She swims in the SB12 classification, so she's a swimmer with a visual impairment, and she has a little bit of an advantage here over the 2 swimmers inside her with a physical impairment. It's good that again, the different classifications here. Isabella Haynes with a leg impairment, Brooklyn Hale with an arm impairment. So all sorts of different disabilities swimming here in Edinburgh in these para-swimming races. But Ella Lytton-Jones, yeah, she's been one, Tony, that's been there or thereabout, hoping to make a little bit of a leap into the GB team. Of course, 3 years now until the LA Paralympic Games will be the long-term target for a lot of these para-swimmers. Ella Lytton-Jones, 1:35 for her. Well, great swim at the front of the field. Brooklyn Hale as well, and Isabella Haynes.
A couple of second improvement there for Ella on her entry anyway.
So we'll keep an eye on what kind of time that the swimmers at the back of the field are going to be doing now. Merrin Binney coming in line number 7. Here is Laura, closest to us, and 205.79, 211 for the 2 swimmers on either side of the pool. That might be good enough to qualify Laura for another swim in the final, Tony. So she'll have another crack at that Scottish record in the final, Laura Pilkington. We shall see.
Yep, that's going to be more than 10 swimmers, so we need to be getting the fastest points to get into that final. And we'll see that later on. And into Heat 2, we've got SP14 Grace Robinson in 1, Veronica Kariuki, East Lothian in 2, Cara White from Ren 96 in 3, Abby Mitchell, Elgin in 4, and 5, Anna Jackson from Kinross, Rebecca Shand, Aberdeen Dolphins in 6, Molly Irvin Watson, Dumfries in 7, and Iona Winifrith, Team GB's SP7 14-year-old out there in lane 8.
Yeah, Iona Winifrith, it's an interesting story for Iona. I mean, she's only, I think, 14 now, but I think as a 12-year-old she was swimming at the British Championships. Oh, and very good prospect, very, very good prospect. She actually won a raffle to get a free ticket to the World Championships in Manchester. So she won a VIP experience in Manchester. A year later she was on the team.
How funny is that?
In Paris. So there we go.
Took inspiration.
Yeah. So out front of the field is Rebecca Shand. I thought it was Veronica Kariuki here in lane number 2, but Rebecca Shand getting the touch. Very close in the middle of the pool here. And Grace Robinson, one of the para swimmers, just on the 120 range. And she's well up with the non-para swimmers in the centre here, but a very close contest. We'll come back to Iona Winifrith at the end. She's the Paralympic silver medalist in this event in Paris. And her time in Paris was just under the 1:30 mark. But coming in to the finish now, it looks like Rebecca Shand has swum the second 50 very well. And she will get in 1:20.76 ahead of Cara White and Veronica Kariuki. Not much in it between the second, third, fourth and fifth. And Iona Winifred, wow, look at that time. 1:30.29 for Iona Winifred. Well, she's a British record holder, Tony, at 1:29.69.
But that's pretty close, isn't it? In a heat of a meet that's not probably something she's really tapered for. So you'd think lots still to come from her this season.
Absolutely. Well done, Iona. And well done at the front of the field. The winner, Rebecca Shand, with a good time there. So next heat, Sienna Oxby, another one of the para swimmers in lane number 1 from Team GB Para. Lauren Cantley and Alicia Goodbrand, University of Aberdeen Performance. Oh, bit of a false start, literally.
Yeah. Not quite sure what happened there. A couple of swimmers still didn't get in the water, so...
I think if there's a para swimmer in the race, whether they're physical impairment or not, I think they have to clear the water. I think the rule is that they clear the water. So Sienna Oxby's in this one. So I think that she would have been expecting...
Some did dive in because they've had to come back out and they're now getting back up to the blocks. So I don't quite know what happened there.
I think the rule is they have to, if there's a para swimmer, that they have to clear the water. Right. And I think maybe that didn't happen.
So they pulled them back.
Yeah. No, that would affect Sienna Oxby. I don't think there's an SB14. She's physically capable swimmer with an intellectual impairment. So, but I suppose if the swimmers with the physical impairments not able to dive at a distance or maybe starting from the water, if you've got another swimmer in the lane beside you, that's not going to help, is it?
And the rules is the rules.
Yep.
So
that's it.
And it's lane 7 out there. Amy Owenson, the best swimmer, who's taken this one out. Going well is in lane 1. Sienna Oxby, podium potential swimmer in para, and she's up there. Amy Owenson though, 36.81 at the 50. Entry time for Amy in the 119s. All these swimmers in and around the 119s. And Amy's been overtaken now in lane 8. We've got Sophie Weston, Bath University swimmer. That's a big contingent up from Bath. And it looks like it's going to be Sophie who's going to edge this one. And she comes into the wall. I think it is pretty clear now that Sophie's got almost a body length on the rest of them. Entry time for her, 1:19.35. Oh, 1:18.96. So that'll keep her happy, I would think. Well done. Nice improvement for her. Kira Hart edged second, and early leader Amy Owenson just edged into third. Sienna Oxby there. 1:21.5. So not too far for entry. 1:19. Super 50 in 50 there for Sophie to take that one.
Well, I think my theory's just been blown out of the water now because they're not clearing the pool here, and there's a para swimmer in this one.
So I don't know.
Here we go.
I think somebody maybe just flopped in.
Maybe.
After all that. So Katie Towers, South Lanarkshire in 1. Leonie Bedborough, Heart Midlothian in 2. Bethany Firth from Ards in 3. SB14 category swimmer Eva Robertson, Highlands in 4. Julia Salah, University of Stirling in 5. 2 Derwentshire and Gateshead swimmers in 6 and 7. Abby Whitfield and Joey Lau. And Beth Craik, Aberdeen in lane 8. Already reasonably spread out this field. Strong start in 5. Julie Salah, University of Stirling swimmer. And she's got a reasonably good lead here. Nearly half a second off Betty Firth, the Ard swimmer.
Yeah, a great record over the years. Bethany Firth first took a gold medal at Paralympic Games in London in 2012. And represented Ireland then. She's represented Great Britain in Rio and in Tokyo Paralympics. She missed out on Paris because she was having a baby in August. Back in the water now.
Crikey. She's going well as well, isn't she? She's pushing in for second and third. Does look like it's going to be Julie who takes this. 1:17.6 entry, 1:17.2 swim, so that's a nice swim there for Julie. Bethany did edge into second, 1:19.3. And it's only just over a second and a half slower than her entry time, so a nice swim there from Bethany. She's can't be that long back in the pool. Baby in August. Abby Whitfield touchdown in third.
Yeah, Abby Whitfield and Leonie Bedborough, who impressed us in the 400 IM with her breaststroke prowess, so no surprise to see them swim in the 100 breaststroke individual.
Absolutely.
And there's the lineup for the next heat. Harry Oldfield, Anik Dolphins in 1. Isabella McGeorge from Edinburgh University in 2. Nuala Gow, University of Aberdeen performance in 3. Charlotte Hardy from South Ayrshire in 4. Emily McGee, Dundee City Aquatic in 5. Amy McLeod goes to City of Glasgow in 6. Louise Fiddis from Hatfield, para swimmer SB 14, goes in 7. And Leah Bullock from University of Aberdeen performance goes in 8. And Louise Fiddis is the reigning Paralympic champion in this event, in the SB 14 classification. Already secured a qualification for Singapore, and probably one of my favourite wins in Paris for the GB team, because it was not completely unexpected, but yeah, unexpected. But great performance from Louise to win that one.
Yeah, she's up there here as well. It is though in lanes 4 and 5. Charlotte Hardy, who's Scottish Junior National Team champion, junior finalist at British Champs earlier in the year. And she's swimming for South Ayrshire here. She's based down in Millfield, I think. Coming through as well strong is Emily McGee. No, it's not Charlotte. Yeah, it was, but it is Charlotte who takes that 1:11.61, which is a couple of seconds over her entry. Emily McGee 1:11.8. Coming in third. There's Nuala Gow. And Louise Fiddis, 1:16.13. So that's not far off her entry time at all. They're only half a second, so that was a super heat swim from Louise.
She's pretty consistent, Louise, actually. She's never very far off her times, and yeah, very consistent performer, whether it be a heat, whether it be a final. But we're into
second of the circle seeded, yeah.
Penultimate heat already. Gabriella Winton from Monifieth in 1. Lily Mundell goes in 2 from Heart of Midlothian. Emily Morgan Hughes, Bath University in 3. Quick turnaround for Anna Morgan just after that 100 freestyle. She goes in the middle, lane number 4, off to a great start for Edinburgh University. Anna Finlay goes in 5 from Derwentside and Gateshead. Ailey Robertson from South Ayrshire in 6. Millie Searle in 7 from Geary. Katie Gillis from Renfrew Baths goes in lane number 8. But yeah, Anna Morgan, well, going to be the class of this heat, you would expect. Around about 4-second advantage on anyone else in this field, and that's the way it's proving in these early stages. Anna Finlay in lane number 5 and Emily Morgan Hughes in lane number 3. They're lying in decent positions here. 1:11 from that first heat from Charlotte Hardy and from Emily McGee. And Anna Morgan looks like she's going to be there or thereabouts, maybe just inside that. Yeah, 1:10.19 for Anna Morgan. And again, you would expect she would have more to give when she gets to the final, and that's surely going to qualify her for that final. Emily Morgan Hughes 1:13. And Anna Finlay 1:13 as well.
They're going to be close, I think. It's pretty open, this final, actually.
Yeah.
I think 1:13 feels like that could be time to be getting. So into the final heat here. Final of our para swimmers in 1. Olivia Newman-Baronius. May Rogers, Warren de Bath in 2. Cora Lanham, Bath University in 3. Cara Hanlon from Edinburgh University in 4. Hannah Bowley, Edinburgh University in 5. Perry Scobie from Stirling swimming in 6th. Susie McNair from the University of Stirling in 7th. Kate Simpson, Edinburgh Uni in lane 8.
Olivia Newman-Baronius, another one of these para swimmers, another finalist in Paris, and again another swim, another quick turnaround for her after that 100 freestyle. But going out, as you would expect, Cara Hanlon in lane number 4. Again, top performer, medalist at the British Championship, Scottish Commonwealth Games representative as well. And, well, Cara's just an absolute class act. I'm sure that she'll be looking forward to the Commonwealth Games next year in Glasgow, and looking forward, as we said earlier, to the Island Games in Orkney, which will represent the Western Isles. But Cara, 106.90, doesn't have to go that fast in this qualification. 110 is the fastest so far, and she is well inside that 2.5 advantage she will carry into that final. 108.62. That looked fairly comfortable for the Scottish champion. 108.62 for her. Hannah Bowley in second. 111.55. 111.91 for Cora Lanham. They're going to be close, isn't it, Tony?
I think they're in.
There's a DQ there, a technical infraction from Katie Simpson. And here we are, top 8.
Yeah, so it was the 2 113s, Emily and Anna, just scraping in there. That should be finalists through to Gabriella. So wait to see. Clearly got the session this afternoon, where there will be some folks swimming. 119s are their entries, so I think they're going to struggle to get into, but we'll see where we get to. As we're now moving on to the male and open 100 breaststroke. We've got another 7 heats here. So gear up into this first heat.
Yeah, certainly ripping through the events here, Tony.
Yeah. Still got 50 backstroke, male and female to go. 200 fly, male and female, and some mixed relays.
Excellent. It's been some good swims this morning.
Some good swims, really good swims.
There's the first heat of this 100 breaststroke. Again, para swimmers to the 4. Oliver Hewitt in 2 from Warren de Bath. Oliver Carter in 3 from University of Stirling. Jude Gunnar goes in 4 from Team GB Para. Jason van der Merwe in 5 from Team GB Para. And Lewis Jones goes in 6 from Team GB Para. Haven't seen Ollie Carter in the water for a while. He's been away for, well, probably about a year now, working, studying in Thailand.
Oh.
Well, I met his mum last year, just at the end of the year, and she said he was having a good time, still doing a little bit of training, but not as seriously as he did when he was a member of the GB team over the last couple of years. And Commonwealth Games for Scotland as well in Birmingham for Ollie Carter the last time out. I wonder if he's making a comeback. He's got his eyes set on Glasgow next year.
Looks pretty strong here.
Yeah, he's going well in lane number 3. He's behind Jude Gunnar, the SB14 swimmer. Jude Gunnar, another one from Team GB Para. He comes from the same area as a number of the top para swimmers in the S14 classification, Jude Gunnar. And he's, again, almost like Geary. He was representing, I think, St Felix School, that kind of area of the country. And Jude Gunnar, 116.87, almost a conveyor belt of S14 swimmers in that area of the country. Ollie Carter, 120.45. I think he'll be pleased with that one, 120 point. Pretty good.
Thereabouts on his entry time, 120.75 was that, so hopefully pleased with that. That's the results of that last heat. And moving on to heat 2, Taylor Sinclair Elgin in 1. Cameron Jolly, University of Aberdeen Performance in 2. Preston's SB14 swimmer Ryan Potter in 3, Tyler Spalding, Carnegie in 4, Taylor Hutton, his teammate, in 5, Kieran Chapman, Glenrothes in 6, Finlay Brown, East Lothian in 7, and Alex Cantley, University of Aberdeen Performance in 8. No lane 3, sorry, so Ryan not swimming. And fastest into this one is Tyler Spalding, Canadian swimmer, Youth Academy member. And it's looking pretty strong, pretty even though, out there in 7 and 8 as well. Finlay Brown, Alex Cantley from University of Aberdeen Performance, but it does look like it's going to be Taylor who's just going to edge it at the 50. So he turns in a 32.85. Entry time for Taylor, 1:11. Tyler, sorry. So it's Tyler and Taylor. So
two Taylors and one Tyler in this one.
It's all
there you go.
A bit too confusing for my little brain. But it's Tyler Spalding who's still out there in the lead in 7. Finlay Brown, East Lothian, is going strong out 8 as well. Alex Cantley's coming back, and in here in lane 2, Cameron Jolly. But I think it's Tyler Spalding who's going to hold on for this one. 1:11.1 entry. And he's looking good. Is he going to get under that? Just over 1:11.55. Looks like a nice strong swim for him.
Oh, a good technique there from Tyler Spalding all the way through. He held on to that very well indeed. Maybe didn't quite spot the finish, and that maybe cost him a few tenths there, but he'd been bang on his entry time if he'd just got that finish spot on.
He'll have at least another attempt this season at one of the summer meets, either at the middle or end of July. And so into heat number 3. There, Finlayson, Irishman Glenalban in 1, Rory Vick, Warren Bass in 2, Jaden Chan from Heart of Midlothian in 3, Rory McCallum, Mulgine Bearsden in 4, Jack Milne, University of Aberdeen Performance, SP14 swimmer Miller Cunningham, Glenrothes in 6, Finlay Byrne from Forth Valley in 7, Fraser van der Meulen, Stirling swimming in 8. And fastest in, Rory McCallum, Mulgine Bearsden swimmer, just ahead of Jack Milne.
Yeah, we saw Jack do a good 200 IM and looked strong at the end of that 200 metres individual medley, and faster than his entry time. So we'll see if he can follow that up with a good 100 breaststroke as well. But McCallum going well in one lane inside Rory McCallum as well. It's Jaden Chan first to the wall by almost a second actually. Jaden Chan, it didn't look like that gap as we looked at it. But McCallum still in second, a row of around about 5 swimmers right across the pool battling for that second place, but I don't think they're going to catch Jaden Chan with that entry time of 1:10.40. Wonder if he can just dip under that 1:10 mark. It's a nice barrier for these swimmers to try and break. And Jaden Chan is going to do it, I think. Just as he... Oh yeah, he does. 109.83. Well done, Jaden. He'll be delighted with that one. Dip under the 1:10 barrier. Jack Milne did finish strongly, as he did in the individual medley. And 1:11.94 is 4 100s ahead of Miller Cunningham. So, good swim at the front of the field.
Nice,
Jaden Chan took it out there at the halfway
strong
point. Was able to hold on.
Yep.
There's the next heat.
Well, he was just slightly faster than Tyler from the previous heat, but really pushed hard on that final 50, Jaden, and got under that 1:10. So Peter McGrother here, Derwentside and Gateside in 1, Logan Warburton from Preston in 2, James Aberdeen from University of Aberdeen, Luke McCall, Warrendown 4, Jack Wallace from University of Aberdeen Performance in 5, Scott McDougall, City of Glasgow in 6, Aidan Williamson, Highland in 7, and Luke Garrity in lane 8 from Inverclyde. Oof, look at that start there, lane 6. Scott McDougall, 31-year-old from City of Glasgow. We're getting some of the senior swimmers in this morning, aren't we? 21, 31, 28, sorry, 31. So it's good to see from Scott McDougall.
Not out of place at all, though.
Look at him, he's absolutely flying here. And he's got a clean pair of heels between him And on his inside, Jack Wallace from University of Aberdeen. And Scott is still pushing on. And he went at 30.7, so that was 1.5 seconds up on the previous heat. So he's going to be down in the 106s maybe, 105. This is a super swim from Scott McDougall. He's been doing something right. 106.04. So that is absolutely smashes his entry time by over 3 seconds. That was super swimming there from him.
Might get another swim with that one.
May do.
Probably not the A final, but B final.
He's on the margins of that B final. So we'll keep an eye on that one. So Manny Craig, who did something similar in 100 freestyle earlier on, missed out by 1 place. Let's see whether Scott can get in there.
Seeded heats now. Heat number 5 of the 7. Craig Shaw from South Lanarkshire, Ben Rogers, University of Aberdeen Performance, Josh Press from University of Stirling, Archie Goodburn, Edinburgh University, William Godsaw from Bath University, Mika Van Blair, University of Aberdeen Performance, Johnny Martin, Perth City, and Jack Philpott, Derwentside and Gateshead. Well, in the centre lanes, Archie Goodburn and William Godsaw. Godsaw off to a good start, but these two, certainly the class of the field, and great to see Archie Goodburn in the water.
Yeah,
Tony, isn't it? After a lot of publicity this week.
Yeah, you've seen the BBC article. It's he's been really pushing to get that into the public consciousness around treatment and looking to support that. Very brave thing to do. Remarkable young man, really, and he's coming through. He's clearly gone steady on that first 50. Coming in hard on the second 50, and he's really pushing hard. He's clearly had a plan on this one, and see how hard he can come back. And what a super heat swim from Archie.
Well, Archie Goodburn is going to take this one. What a fantastic second 50 there.
Very strong.
32.31, almost 3 seconds faster than William Godsaw on that second 50. 32 point for a second 50, incredible. 103.87 for Archie Goodburn. That'll be the target for the heats to come. And just 3 inside that 106,
yeah, so Scott, I was going to say young Scott, but slightly less young than the rest of them, Scott, is still in with a shout so far. So let's see where we get to. Next up, Rory Webster, Dumfries in 1, Nathaniel Cherubny in University of Stirling in 2. In 3, Matthew Garrity from City of Glasgow, once of Inverclyde, Rafe Dobson, University of Stirling in 4, Josh Mitchell, Edinburgh Uni in 5, Robson Miles, City of Glasgow in 6, Callum Aitchison, University of Aberdeen Performance in 7, Brogan Smith, the youngster from Glenrothes, in lane 8, only 14, so really in amongst it. There's young Brogan, super talent, and let's see what he can do against some of these older swimmers. He's a national age group champion, and he's given a good run for their money. It's the centre lanes though. Josh Mitchell does take that at 30.9, so down on the last 09, sorry, in the last heat. Josh Mitchell is just coming. He's been around for a long time, Josh, and he's just very gradually improved and improved and improved. He's 23 this year, and he's still getting faster at Edinburgh University. Going to Chris Jones now, and he's gonna see whether he can get ahead of Rafe Dobson, who was fastest in. 102.7 was Josh's entry. He's not going to be too far away from that. 103.85. So that's just faster than Archie was in that previous heat. Rafe Dobson gets the 103.85. Josh is just the other side of Archie. 103.88 for him, and 106.37 for Matthew. And our friend Scott McDougall is actually 6th at the moment. So let's see what this last heat's got to throw up.
It's going to be well into the B final at the very least, isn't he? There's the lineup for that one. Lachlan Small from Stirling Swim. Team GB para swimmer Harry Stewart goes in lane number 2. Callum Melville goes in 3. Christian Ryan, Bath University in 4. Andrew Arthur from University of Aberdeen goes in 5. Donald Bissett from University of Stirling goes in 6. Jack Mitchell, University of Aberdeen, in 7. And Samuel Whitehorn from Midlothian in the outside lane, lane number 8. So these swimmers, fastest so far, 103. 3 swimmers in the 103.8 range. Well, let's see what Christian Ryan can do. And Andrew Arthur and Callum Melville, they've all got entry times in the 102 range, so expect these 3 swimmers to be making sure of that place in the final. I think anywhere in the kind of 103, 104 range, certainly low 104s should make it if you're in the top 4 in this one. And it's very tight indeed. Look at these 4 in the middle. Callum Melville closest to us, Christian Ryan, Andrew Arthur and Donald Bissett, all in the centre. Can they all get close to their entry times? Can they all get inside that 105 mark, which we think might be just about the cut-off for the final? Into the finish, Christian Ryan, a good second 50, 103 point. I think Don Bissett and Andrew Arthur might make it. Callum Melville.
I think Callum might have just missed it, I think.
Yeah. It's going to be close though, isn't it?
Maybe 8, but I'm not sure.
There's a result for that one. The British record holder, Harry Stewart, in his classification. Oh, in fact, he's not the British record holder, actually. He's Scott Quinn is the British record holder, Edinburgh's own. And there we are, Callum Melville, 105.26 for him. He did make it just 105 low was the time. Scott McDougall well into that B final, Tony.
I think he's in there. That was very close to getting into the A from one of the very early heats, but super swim there from the Glasgow swimmer. I'm not sure whether he would have prepared to do 2 swims today, but I think he's going to get it.
Yeah, we're kind of building him up as being ancient, but he's 31.
I know he's.
I mean, we know by our standards.
But for swimmer in non-masters competition, that's
great. It's absolutely great.
Fairly unusual. Good on him. And there you go, confirmation of your fastest 8. Pretty sure that will stay the same even after this afternoon's swimming. So
look how close it is there, but Archie Goodburn got a bit more in the tank.
Well,
as you would expect the others as well.
Rafe and Ryan, Christian Ryan, you've got to expect to. So look forward to that. I said it before, 5:30 finals kick off this evening. So please join us for that. And that was your lineup. Now we're moving on to the female 50 backstroke. So starting down the other end of the pool, and we've got 6 heats here. We have in the first heat, Caitlin Peebles from East Lothian in 1, Maddie Hull, Warren de Baths in 2, Sophia McMahon, University of Aberdeen Performance in 3, in 4, Katie Lowe from Carnegie, Emily Odvier from Glenalbyn in 5, Chloe Brotherton, South Tyne in 6, Amelia Morris, Derwentsside and Gateshead in 7, and Georgina Hawkins, Faulthouse Penguins in lane 8. So splash and dash here. 14-year-olds through to 19-year-olds. Entry times 31.8 up to 32.2. Fast start in 7. It's Amelia Morris down inside in Gateshead, who looks like she's got off to a good start, as has lane 4. Katie Lowe, Carnegie swimmer. It still looks like Amelia. 32.1 is her entry. And she's looking strong here. And it's very, very close as they come up to the flags. Whoa, maybe still lane 7. No, Chloe Brotherton, 32.16. Was long leader Amelia Morris just edged out for second with Katie Lowe, Carnegie swimmer, in third. 32.1, just outside her entry time there for Chloe. As we move on to heat 2.
There's the lineup for that one. Mia Loon from University of Aberdeen Performance, Ciara Pimble from Best, Maddie Barber, University of Stirling, Lisa McNair from Stirling Swim, Isla Gilmurray, Mingasell, Anna Kachenko from City of Glasgow, Amber Littlejohn from University of Aberdeen Performance, and Anna Lawson in lane number 8. Again, all the entry times for this heat only split by 0.4 of a second, so Well, the win could come from absolutely anywhere. Maddie Barber going well in lane number 3. So going well right at the top was Anna Lawson in the early stages, but I think Barber is going to come home now in 3, just ahead of Kira Pemble in lane 2, 31.94. So a slight improvement from that first heat. One swimmer dipping under the 32-second mark. Kira Pemble came back strongly, and Lisa McNair in 3rd position. 3rd heat on its way, Tony.
Racing through into this one. Lucy Stoves, University of Stirling in 1. Ailsa Clubb, Aberdeen Dolphin in 2. Aileen Ferris, Cumbernauld in 3. Lucy McLeod, Forth Valley in 4. Bronwyn Payne, Best in 5. Jade Blake from University of Stirling in 6. Scarlett Ferris in 7. Perth City and Zara Kravich from East Lothian in 8. So let's see who gets the start. Looks good in 7. Scarlett Ferris, my goodness, look at that. She's got a body length up on the rest of them after the start, and she is flying through here, the Perth City swimmer. And I don't think there's any doubt that she's going to take this one. In on a 31.14. I think she's going to absolutely obliterate that. As she comes in under 30, 29.46. What a super swim there from Scarlett Ferris. Where did that come from? Great swimming there. Zara Kravich 31.09. Lucy Stoves 31.37, but what a super swim from Scarlett Ferris, taking that one by a country mile. And that will, I would be surprised if she's not booked herself a good chance of getting in a final possibly, but you'd think definitely B, so we'll see. Isla Wetton, East Lothian in 1, Rue Fowler, Bath in 2, Union 2, Amy Shields, Edinburgh Union 3, Heidi Wren, City Glasgow in 4, Eve Wood, Orkney in 5, Anna Green from Edinburgh Uni in 6, Chloe Harris from Edinburgh Uni in 7, Holly Widows, Mount Kelly in lane 8. And here we go at the start of this one. Heidi Wren fastest inward, first of the circle seeded heats here. Heidi Wren always good on the starts, but with her is Eve Wood and Amy Shields either side going well as well in lane 8, so outside swim again going well, and it does look like it's maybe Holly Widows, out there in lane 8, the Mount Kelly swimmer. And who's going to take it? Just 4, I think. Eve Wood, 29.8. Strong swim there from Holly, and she's under the minute. That's a minute, a second under her entry time for Holly Widows there. Anna Green edging in 3rd with Amy Shields just 300ths behind her. So moving on to heat 5.
Heat 5, Tony, I'm back. Thanks for holding the fort. So we're sitting beside the stairwell here, so we keep seeing
people that you haven't seen for a long time.
Right, so we've got to say hello.
Yeah,
it'd be rude.
It would be very rude not to.
Especially if you can leave the live stream in safe hands.
Indeed. So you can only do that once or twice.
Rosie Forster with that red cap of Warren de Bass in 1. Nellie Kinch, University of Stirling in 2. Jemima Hall, Bath University in 3. Yasmin Hammerlane, Edinburgh University in 4. Marie Wood, University of Aberdeen Performance in 5. Sophie Weston, Bath University in 6. Emma Scobie in 7 from Kirkintilloch, off to a great start. Caitlin Reid from Warren de Bass in lane number 8. Well, so Scarlett Ferris off to a good start in 7. Emma Scobie got off to a great start as well. Might have springs in these blocks in lane number 7, but it's very close. At the finish might be lane number 2. Nellie Kinch just nicks it from Marie Wood. Both of them under the 30-second mark. Jemima Hall in 3rd. That good start by Emma Scobie helped her to 4th position. Jasmine Hammerlane also under the 31 seconds, but 2 under the 30-second barrier.
Yeah, so I think 29 is going to need to be done to get in this final. They've already had, I think, at least 6 swimmers. Heather Clubb, Aberdeen Dolphins in 1. Laura Ann Marshman, University of Stirling in 2. Faith Yuda, Edinburgh Uni in 3. Melissa Mainwaring, City Glasgow in 4. Caitlin Ebbage, University of Stirling in 5. Rebecca Reid from Aberdeen in 6. Katie Rose from Swansea Uni in 7. Abigail McNerney in Clyde in 8. So fastest into this event, Melissa Mainwaring. City of Glasgow of West Lothian, now over at City of Glasgow set up. And good strong start from her. Pretty even though, maybe Caitlin Ebbage in 5 is going strong. Melissa going well with her as well. Also there in 7, Katie Rose going pretty strong in that first half of this race, but Caitlin Ebbage is merely coming through in this final throws of this race, and Melissa Mainwaring is also coming through strongly. Who's going to get the touch? And it is Melissa, 29.99. She might just have got herself into that final. Going to be tight though. Caitlin Ebbage second, 30.03. Laura Ann Marshman gets third, 30.44. So Millie just edging ahead. That might be the difference between getting in that final and not. Nope, she's there in lane 6, so those two swimmers get in. As you're running up to your B final, Yasmin Hammerlin just edging into that one, and then see whether this afternoon's swimmers are going to be in on 31 points, so somebody could be in with a shout. We'll just have to wait and see.
It's going to be a close one.
That is going to be very, very close. That's good.
As we scroll through the women, we have 6 heats of the men's 50 metres backstroke to come. There's just a reconfirmation of your top 8 as they stand. The provisional finalists, Scarlett Ferris with that great swim leads the way. Wasn't that many swimmers we were bang on their time there in that women's 50, so yeah, chances are there if you can step up and get close to your best time. Yep,
I think swimmers earlier on in the heat seem to be going faster than their entries, and it just got to there or thereabouts on their entries for the. And also in backstroke, I think some of them are short course conversion entries, and backstroke in particular makes a big, big difference on that short course to long course conversion. So it's always a bit tricky to replicate. So into the male and open 50 back. Rory Hall, Mulgine bears then in this first heat in 2. James Kilpatrick. And very tight here. Goodness, maybe lane 3. Force, you know, who got that? It was Rory Hall in lane 2.
Again, I think he just had the best finish there,
Johnny. 29.3. So that's just under his entry. James Kilpatrick, 29.43. Just over his entry time. 29.75 for Ruben. Just over his entry, but nice swimming there from those swimmers.
There's a line-up for the second heat. Daniel Moorhouse from Derwentside and Gateshead. Brigham Sticker from Marlins. Rowan Brown from Elgin. Mano Drysdale from Warren Baths. Joseph Kane from Carnegie. Finlay Nelson from University of Stirling. Logan Scally from University of Aberdeen. And Miller Cunningham in the outside lane. So my imagination, Tony, is Miller Cunningham had a very busy morning indeed.
So you, as an ex-Glen Rothesayan, however you say it, you tend to notice these things, don't you, from the club? And I hadn't actually picked up he'd had any busier weekend than anyone, but I'll definitely take your word for it on that front. Yeah, he's doing well. He's up there, but doing even better for Mano Drysdale's looking strong, isn't he? Lane 2 as well. Brigham Stitcher. Oh, Mano does edge it. 28.71. So that's just over his entry, but that's a nice time in there for Mano.
It's nice to see Warrender swimmer get to the top there, local swimmer.
Yep.
Always good for us in the commentary position, that familiar red cap of Warrender in the middle.
Makes life easier, doesn't it?
Unless they're against Perth.
Yes, or Faulthouse, or... And the Perth cap has similarity. Well, anyway, yes, it's red, so it does make it tricky, but...
Alfie Price back in the water again. For this one, heat number 3, Adam Prusik, Aberdeen Dolphin, Conan Swinney, Derwentside and Gateshead, Magnus Morris, Stirling Swim, Jack McGann in 4 from the University of Stirling, Harry Cook, Aberdeen Dolphin in 5, Alfie Price, as I said, back in the water again, the Orkney swimmer, who had a great swim just a short time ago. He goes in 6, Fraser van der Meulen in 7, and Jed Armitage from Highland in lane number 8. Harry Cook going well in lane number 5. Alfie Price right there. Jack McGann coming through as well in lane number 4. It looks like it's going to be 5 and 6 though. Harry Cook and Alfie Price into the wall together. half a second in the end, 27.42. It looked a little bit closer than that, but Harry Cook, great swim from him. That's an improvement on the entry time that he had of 27.62. And Alfie Price, the only other one under the 28-second mark.
Yep.
And that was a little improvement for him as well, 6/100.
Just a wee bit, but both peppering the edges of potential B finals, I would say. As we move into the first of the circle seeded heats, Louis Lawler, para swimmer, Olympian, twice over, City of Glasgow in 1, Callum Peebles, Edinburgh Uni in 2, Hubert Gedaniak, Bath University in 3, Jamie Robertson, University of Stirling in 4, Andrew Brodie, Edinburgh Uni in 5, Harry Sharp from Warrender in 6, Jack Doherty-Simpson, City of Glasgow in 7, Richard Cages from Marlins in lane 8. Very strong start in 5. This is Andrew Brodie, Edinburgh Uni swimmer. He's had a good season and he's looking really good here. He's got Jamie Robertson from University of Stirling on his inside, who is coming back strong on this final 15. Is Andrew going to hold on? I think he is. 26.63. So that's just over his entry. Very close with Jamie Robertson. Into second. And Callum Peebles in third, 27.4. But we've had a couple of swimmers doing 26. So see how that goes. Pretty close to his entry time. That was a good swim there from Andrew.
Here's the next heat, heat number 5. Jamie Waller, Howard Midlothian, Greer van der Mullen in 2 from Stirling Swim, Archie Evans from Bath University in 3, Jamie Ferguson from University of Aberdeen in 4, John McPhail, Edinburgh University in 5, Lucas Brown from University of Stirling in 6. Ethan Collins goes in at 7 from Stirling Swim. And another swimmer from Marlins. He's Thomas Dean. Not the Thomas Dean. He's just 16 years of age. And right in the centre, Jamie Ferguson, University of Aberdeen performance. Looks good here, really coming into the wall at a pace there. And 26.05. That'll be good enough to progress to the final, I'm sure. Archie Evans, 26.6. And Jordan McPhail, 26.92. It's going to be tight for the final. 26
is a must now, isn't it? That's got it's 5 of them in on 26s. So let's see what this final heat can do. Maxim Shamrila, saw him do a good IM. Well, first leg of his IM, so he'll be strong in this one. Logan van der Meulen in 2. Robert Burgess, Edinburgh Uni in 3. Scott Gibson, his teammate, in 4. Zach Speakman, University of Stirling in 5. Logan Jackson, University of Aberdeen Performance in 6. Datisha Harinath, Marlins in 7. And Benji Jeffries, South Ayrshire in 8. So Scott Gibson, Scottish record holder, out there in lane 4. Strong start from him on his outside. Zach Speakman from University of Stirling. Just trying to stick with him. And it's these two at the moment. Scott's looking strong as he comes into the flags. 24.58 entry time for him as he comes in. 25.37. That is a nice heat swim. I think he'll be pleased with that. Takes that. 26.33 was Zach, I think, who got second.
Yeah, Zach, yeah.
Third, Robert Burgess, 26.86, and Maxime Shamrila, 26.96. Oh, this is going to be tight, isn't it? I think Robert might have sneaked his way in. I'm not sure about Maxim. Let's have a look and see. Keep us waiting. And it is. Robert does get in, Jordan does, but unfortunately, Shamrila just missed out.
A couple of hundreds there, wasn't it?
There we go. That was the lineup there. With a strong swim there from Scott. That's that's pretty good swimming. He's only half a second off his Scottish record. I think that is the fastest long course swim he's done for a little while. So he's obviously been pitching it right this season, and he's come back strong. So that's good to see. That's the full results there, I think, for all of those 50 backstrokes. No, wrong. Yep, there we go. There's your confirmed finalist. Oh, it's tight, isn't it? 8.48692. But that should be a good one, but way out at the moment. Scott Gibson, great heat swim there from him. A change of pace here. We're now moving into 5 heats of the female 200 butterfly. There you have your first heats swimmers. Lauren Broley, Falthouse in 1. In 2 is Millie Colvin from Dumfries. Skye Petrie, Moni Feith in 3. Lucy Morgan, University of Aberdeen Performance in 4. Charlotte Craig from Ren 96 in 5. Amber Niven, Carnegie in 6. And Amy Dobson, Kingston in 7. Always a toughie, this one.
Yep, yeah. Got to just try and pace it correctly.
Easy speed for the first 100 is what I'm told is what you're meant to try and do. However you do that and fly, I've never really understood, but go out even, just out, just trying a wee bit too hard on that first 50. It can absolutely kill you in the back end, so hopefully these swimmers will be able to pace it. Going out strong in 3 is Skye Petrie, the 14-year-old from Moni Feith. And national age group finalist Skye, only 14. Got another 14-year-old in here as well with Charlotte Craig, the Ren 96 swimmer. And Skye, 32.27.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on those splits. You can see the splits for the previous 50 appearing on your graphics, so gives us a little bit of an idea how the swimmers are comparing against each other when they go through this race, especially on this 200 fly. I wonder if we'll see someone surging through at the end, which we see from time to time on this 200 butterfly, but it is still Skye Petrie. And you see the splits, they're all on about the kind of mid 39 second mark there for the top 3. So the lead not really changing about at all. We'll see what it looks like when they come to this top end, this final turn. Amber Niven going well in lane number 6, just the top of those 2 yellow marked lanes. So 2 swimmers on either side of the fastest seeds for this one. The 2 in the middle, entry time was 2:36. Skye Petrie entry time 2:37. So not much to choose in terms of entry times, but in terms of distance in the pool at the moment, Tony, it's looking like Skye Petrie's to lose.
Yep.
And she's really stretched away. Look at that, 3 seconds faster than the chasing pack here.
She's holding it well. I mean, you were saying swimmers surging through on fly. I think tends to be what happens is that the one who can maintain their pace stays where they are and the others don't maintain their pace. I think it's very hard on a 200 fly to come back faster, but it just looks like Skye here has paced as well. It looks like she's done very consistent pacing. This could be another 41-42, which would be really, really strong from her. 2:37 entry time, and she smashed that. There we go, 2:34.79, and yeah, she does another 41. So that's, look at that, Charlotte Craig, 39.53. So having said they don't come faster, she's just gone much faster on that 50. She really did. Look at that difference, 8-second difference between her and Lucy Morgan on that 50. And so Charlotte, the other 14-year-old, has come through very strongly.
Yeah. She was in the middle of the other 2, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And just behind them, that final 50,
whoosh,
final 75, as she just closed up and went well past. Well done to the 2 youngsters. Skye Petrie getting that one, 2:34.79. That is a good swim indeed.
Unfortunately, lane 1 was disqualified, technical infraction into heat 2. So in this one we have Katie Ray, Gary in 1, 2 Warrender swimmers, Beth Kelly and Rebecca Reid in 2 and 3, Emma Burrell, Lothian in 4, Millie Searle from Gary in 5, Lula Milne, the City of Glasgow swimmer, in 6 and 7, Molly Scott from Derwentside and Gateshead, and Lucy Hall, East Lothian swimmer, in lane 8. And pretty even across the pool here. And a couple of 14-year-olds, 3 14-year-olds, Millie Searle, Lula Milne and Katie Ray. But it's lane 3, Rebecca Reid, the Warrender swimmer, and out there in 7, Molly Scott, Derwentside and Gateshead, and she does edge it, 32.22, so marginally quicker than the previous heat. So it'll be interesting to see how the pacing changes across these. It was really well paced from Skye Petrie. She went a 32 and then pretty much 40, 41, 41. So that is excellent 200 fly swimming. Let's see whether Molly Scott, Derwentside and Gateshead swimmer, can do that as well in this heat. Rebecca Reid, the one of 2 Warrender swimmers in this one, in lane 3. Just missed out on the medal at Snags, was 4th, Rebecca. Still Molly, 109.77.
Yeah, a little bit faster pace there.
Yeah.
This time, isn't it?
It's a 37-second 50. Let's see how she can hold on here in this one.
Yeah, looking good as they come down to this final turn. Molly Scott, we will just take the pace of that 50. The Warrender cap of Rebecca Reid still very much in contention now. She comes into that red zone the last 5 metres onto this turn. Pace has kind of dropped to a 40 now for Molly Scott, but no one's closing. Rebecca Reid also in the 40 range. And all about this last length now. Molly Scott with entry time of 2:34.71. I think she should be on course to do that. Should be maybe about 3 or 4 seconds inside it if she can continue this pace. Rebecca Reid looks like she's safe in 2nd. Emma Burrell coming through strongly, possibly just going to claim 3rd place ahead of Lucy Hall, but Molly Scott is going to be in. She's going to be just about the 2:30 mark. Yeah, well done to her. Again, 41.06. She was the fastest of anyone in the pool, I think. Rebecca Reid did get through for 2nd, and it was Lucy Hall in 3rd. I thought she was going to be caught, Lucy Hall, at the end, but she held off that challenge of Emma Burrell by 8/100ths of a second. But Molly Scott, great swim from her. Rebecca Reid as well, not too far off her entry time.
Yeah, super swim there from Molly. She held that together really well. And we move on to the 3rd heat. So first of the circle seeded heats. Emma Creaney, University of Aberdeen Performance in 1. Amy Rowell, City of Glasgow in 2. Ellen Denny from Gary in 3. Catherine Roberts, Swansea Uni in 4. Kate Baxter from Bath Uni in 5. Kira Pemble, Best in 6. Layla Weatherspoon from Heart of Midlothian in 7. And Amelia Morris, Derwentside and Gateshead in lane 8. So Swansea Uni swimmer here in 4. Catherine Roberts. National senior swimmer. Is 3rd at the British Summer Champs last year, where she did her entry time of 2:14, so 31.14. So that is 2nd up on the previous heat. So this is, as I said, first of the circle seeded heats. And if you're in that central lane, you'll be thinking you want to pace this right to make sure you go fast enough to get into that A final. Going with Catherine is currently Kira Pemble out there in lane 6, the best swimmer. It's district champion Kira, and it's the 35 for Catherine, so 106.6, so that's a good 3 seconds up on previous heat. Expect that. Entry time here of 2:14 is substantially faster than what we've seen in the previous heats, and she is looking good here, Catherine. Pretty close across lanes 3, 5 and 6 for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. So Ellen Denny, Kate Baxter and Kira Pemble, who's just been caught now by Kate Baxter, one of the Bath University swimmers.
Yeah, you want to get into 2nd place
yep.
with this one, with the 3 seeded heats. 2nd place would potentially secure you a place in that final. But again, as we said, it's the fastest 8 times across all the heats, so it's not necessarily where you finish. But 2nd place certainly would put you in a better position than finishing 3rd, that's for sure. But right out in front of the field, Catherine Roberts is looking pretty impressive here. And she comes home to take this one. It's going to be around low 220s, I think. Yeah, 2:21.50 for Catherine Roberts. Let's have a look at the chasing pack. What a good finish from Layla Weatherspoon. 2:27.20 for Layla. And just ahead of Kate Baxter, 2:27.49. I wonder if that touch is going to be vital. So 2:27 range. What was the time from Molly Scott for that previous one? She wouldn't be far away from that.
2:30.8. So I think probably just, I mean, B final territory possibly, but
yeah, well, 5 swimmers faster, I suppose, in that first seeded heat. But, it's going to be pretty close.
Yeah, you think she's in with a shout for sure. As we move on to heat 4, Freya Keeling, Carnegie in 1, Catherine Brodie from Aberdeen University Performance in 2, Abigail Crawford, City Glasgow in 3, Coco Croxford, South Lanarkshire in 4. In lane 5, Derwentside, Evie O'Halloran Hutchison, Maddie Cool in 6 from University of Aberdeen Performance, Kirsty Gilmore 7, South Lanarkshire, Gemma Brown in lane 8 from Carnegie. Good start in 4, Coco Croxford, strong talent from the South Lanarkshire club. Second into this, junior, second at the junior final at British Championships. It's a national age group champion. 31.15, 100th slower than Catherine in the previous heat, but looking strong. And she is taking this one out, Coco. Got 4 swimmers just behind her. Catherine Brodie, Abigail Crawford, Evie O'Halloran Hutchison and Maddie Cool. Not a lot between all of them, but Coco's looking pretty comfortable here. That's really strong talent, Coco, on this 200 fly. And 107.65, so slightly down on Catherine in the previous heat, but Coco knows what she's got to do. She's in on a 2:13, and that, you know, she can swim 10 seconds slower than that and still probably comfortably make this final. So
you say this is the best event, do you think, for
yeah,
Coco?
I think so, Coco. She represented Scotland at the Commonwealth Youth Games in this event.
She's done a range of events in the past, hasn't
but
she?
She's definitely honed in on the fly, and it's looking good here. And 200 fly in particular, she just seems to be able to keep going, and it's demonstrating that here. 1:43.79, so she's now just about the same time as Catherine, and still looks pretty strong, just very light, skimming across the water there. Looks like Evie O'Halloran Hutchison has had a busy morning as well, is coming through in 5, and it's those two have now pretty much got clear field on the other two, and the other two will be just fighting to see whether they can get in a B final. And Coco looking strong. She's really held it on in this last 100, and she comes in 2:20.68, so that gets her into top spot. 2:23 for Evie, 2:27.9 and 2:28.9, so 2:27.9 is I would say
6
more
so
than
far.
likely, yeah, to get you into, but the others are going to be having to definitely, to get in the A final, will be biting their fingernails. So Catherine's on the edge of that, I would say now, and 2:27.9 is just for Abigail Crawford, so she needs to see what happens now in this final heat.
One more to go. Gabriella Lessing from Ren 96 goes in at lane number 1. Ashley Drake, Warrenderbaths into Natasha McDonnell from University of Stirling in 3. Ciara Slauson from Edinburgh Uni in 4. Faye Rogers, para swimmer, goes in lane number 5 from University of Aberdeen Performance. Isabel Fox from Derwentside and Gateshead in 6. Katie Aitchison from Warrenderbaths in 7. And Ava Smith from Geary in lane number 8. Ciara Slauson will be the class of this field, the fastest entry time in the entire field. 2:10.70. She went slightly faster than that at the British Championships, just missed out on the medals. Faye Rogers next to her is the para swimmer who's been on absolute fire this year, and she set world records, I think, 3 times in this event, this 200 butterfly for the S10 classification. A swimmer Faye Rogers, of course, she was an Olympic hopeful. She swam in the Tokyo trials in 2021 and then had an accident and came into para swimming a couple of years later, and she's never looked back. Faye Rogers, second place there to Ciara Slauson. So we'll just keep an eye on Faye Rogers. We know she's been on record-breaking form, and the record stands at 2:18.48. And
so it's probably just slightly outside that, I think.
Yeah, she did it in the heats in London at the British Championships and also in the final, but
2:06 would have been 2:05, 2:06, 1:05, 1:06 probably for that first 100 to do that. But let's keep an eye on her. Ashley Drake in lane 2 going well. She's in third at the moment, maybe been caught up slightly by Isabel Fox in 6, but it's still Ciara. 1:37.46, so she is way ahead of the previous heats.
Almost out of shot.
Yeah.
So far ahead here. Good work from our camera people.
Get as many people in the shot as you can. Not very easy when somebody's 10 metres ahead of the rest of the field. Good swim here, look at that, 2:11.07. Wow, that is really not far off her entry time or her season's best, so that's super swimming there. Faye, 2:23. Two excellent swims there from those two swimmers, really at the top of their game. 2:27.90. Oh, this A final is going to be tight. Gabriella, I think, may have just edged her way in. Well, what's swimming there from the first two swimmers?
Yeah, good stuff. Ciara Slauson way ahead of the others, 2:11. Well done, Faye Rogers. Just second and a half outside her own world para record. And Abigail Crawford is the last one.
200ths ahead. That's okay. So we will have a swim off later on, Paul. You've got your wished for.
Is that the one we noticed before, or is that one of the reserve places?
I don't know. It's a women's 100, female 100 free. We didn't get the names of the swimmers. We will do when it comes up. But yeah, there's a swim off which will be happening either at the end of the session or before the relays. I didn't quite catch it, but we'll keep you posted on that one.
End of the session, we were being told.
Are we? Right, I missed that. Very good.
So
the final individual event. Oh, there you go. That's your final. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah, it's just a recap of that 200 fly. As you said, Tony, final individual event is the male and open 200 fly. So we have, how many heats? 5 heats of this one. And here's the lineup for heat number 1. James Gillis from City of Glasgow in 1. William Oliver, Anik Dolphins in 2. Jamie Hay from Geary in 3. We have Luke Thompson, Bathgate in 4. Jasper Broom, South Ayrshire in 5. Andrew Liu, the youngest in the field, from Step Rock in lane number 6. Finlay Bruce, with that familiar red cap of Perth City, goes in 7. And Rory Webster from Dumfries. Finlay Bruce, a really good start as well, 28.41, just 16 years of age. He's right in the middle of the age group in this heat.
That's a pretty fast start. I hope he hasn't.
28.4. Goodness.
I hope he hasn't burnt himself in that first 50.
Even when I was swimming 50 flyer, that would be a good time.
I mean, he looks very, very strong. So, you know, this may well be a breakthrough swim for Finlay. If he can hold this pace, it certainly will be. It's very, very speedy first 100 for him.
James Gillis on the other side of the pool might be second. No, Luke Thompson in the middle. Just getting ahead of James Gillis. So the two swimmers on the outer edges of the pool, one in the centre. They're all chasing the early leader. Finlay Bruce from Perth City with that entry time of 2:22. Well, he's keeping it going, Tony. He's getting the oxygen in. He's breathing.
He's going to need it
every stroke now as he comes in.
So that's 33 in the last 50. Still holding it, 35.99. So let's just hope he can hold this up. If so, he's going to he's going to smash his entry time, I would say. So that was a 36 really on that one. So another 36. gets him to 14 territory. Coming through strong, pacing it well in lane 4 is the Luke Thompson from Bathgate, on a 2:21. But Finlay, good on him. He went out with intent on this one, and he's held on pretty well. 2:15.31. So that's a 5-second improvement for him, but I suspect that hurt quite a lot. Paced it well, 37 for his last 50, slightly down on the previous, but not a lot. So Jamie Hay got second, edging out Luke by
great.
a few tenths.
Swim,
yeah, super swim.
2:15.31. There's a number of ways to swim a 200
There are, and that was brave, I think. But he clearly knew what he was doing, because he didn't pace it. He didn't go out.
Yeah,
the pacing was good. That's 28, 34, 36, 37. That's pretty good for a 200 fly.
next heat. That's Oliver Hodzik. In lane number 1, University of Aberdeen Performance, Ivan Gallagher from Derwentside and Gateshead in 2, Daniel Hay, Forth Valley in 3, Manor Drysdale, Warren de Bass goes in 4, Dean Bargatti from South Lanarkshire in 5, Jack Shaw, Bells Hill in 6, Lucas Innes from Faulthouse in 7, and Jamie Hume goes in lane number 8 from Derwentside and Gateshead.
So closest first 50 in any of these races, I think, here. Virtually nothing between all of these 8 swimmers. Less than a second.
Yeah, 0.7. Lane 1 leads them through. Lane 4 is at the back of the field there. That's unusual.
Let's see if he's just using some experience in the middle just to pace himself. We'll see whether that's what Mano's plan is.
Yeah, coming through well. In lane number 2, looks like Gallagher, Ivan Gallagher from Derwentside and Gateshead. He's got his teammate in this one in lane number 8. Gallagher 105.89, 5/100ths ahead of Lucas Innes. Up there in 7, Drysdale moved through into 3rd place, so 8th through to 3rd for Mano Drysdale as they come up to this final turn now. Lane 7. Looking very good indeed. Lucas Innes from Faulthouse, one of the younger swimmers in this field, just 16 years of age. There is one 15-year-old in lane 1, but the 16-year-old going really well in lane number 7, Lucas Innes. Gallagher still in 2nd place. The gap is now half a second. Manor Drysdale still in 3rd place, but still very much in contention, Tony.
Yep, let's see who's got the legs on this last 50. Mano's looking pretty strong, but I'm not sure he's going to catch Lucas Innes. The Faulthouse swimmer has been in the lead, is a bit like the previous lane 7 swimmer. He's really taken this one, and he's looking very strong, Lucas. Entry time was a 2:19.9. He's going to get under that, I think. Very much under. Lovely swim from him. 2:17.44. So there's something in the water out there in 7. So that's 2 in a row. Nice improvements. Mano finished strongly, stretching ahead of Ivan Gallagher in 3rd, but that'll be a good swim there for Lucas. I'm sure he'll be pleased with that. Getting under 2:18, so 2:17.44, 2:19.9 for Mano, 2:21.09 for Ivan. To heat number 3. Lewis Maxwell Powell's Warrender in 1, Rory Young, City of Glasgow in 2, Benjamin Beale, Derwentside and Gateshead in 3, Brodie Gordon Gibson, Edinburgh Union 4, Kieran Lennox from Aberdeen Performance in 5, Nikolai Cisnet, City of Glasgow in 6, Ben McLaughlin, University of Aberdeen Performance in 7, Callum McKenzie, Perth City in 8. No swimmer in 5, so Lennox, Kieran's not doing this one. And it's likely to be Brodie out there. Going to be representing Great Britain at the World Student Games later in the summer. 27.64. They're into the circle seeded heats. And he's got Benjamin Beale, strong young swimmer. Benjamin, only 15. He won the Edinburgh International Junior Final, was a junior finalist at the British Championships as well, just at the age of 15. Pretty impressive. Derwentside and Gateshead swimmer.
very slow but powerful stroke there for Brodie Gordon-Gibson.
Just 58.58. Reasonably strong start.
I don't know what stroke count to be for Brodie Gordon-Gibson, but probably a lot less than
your average swimmer.
Field,
yeah. It does look like he's just pacing it out here. He's done the 100 freestyle already today. So this is him doubling up in a heat session. When you come through in the last few years, Brodie, strong on fly and free. 200 free's really picked up as well. 150 fly are really exceptionally strong. 131.49 up to 32.9. So let's see, you'll know he'll be comfortable for the A final, so you'll not want to overdo it, but it's very hard to ease off on a fly, 200 fly. It's just hard. So as he comes in, and Benjamin's really pushing him a wee bit. He's not given up, Ben. He's not held back at all. And it's going to be Brodie to take this one. As he comes in, 206.78. 2.9 for Benjamin. So 2 or 3 seconds off his entry. Third it was Ben McLaughlin, just edging it. 212.78. So keep an eye on the times for finals. I think 6 and a 9 will be pretty comfortably in, but beyond that, it just depends how everyone else is feeling in this morning session.
Yeah, 2 more heats to come. And Aidan Anderson goes in lane 1, University of Aberdeen Performance. James Boddy from Geary in 2. Peter Allen and Andrew Bertolli, University of Stirling in 3 and 4. Tom Robertson, Edinburgh Uni in 5. Callum Sinclair, Warren Dabas in 6. Sid Argillan from Edinburgh Uni in 7. And Innes Gow from Geary going in lane number 8. Andrew Bertolli, again, he's had a good season, finalist at the British Championships. In lane number 4, University of Stirling swimmer, just over that 2-minute mark. I'd love to dip under that 2 minutes, I'm sure.
He's been around 2 minutes for a couple of years now, Andrew, and I'm sure he'll be really keen to get under that. 27.7, so that's broadly similar to Brodie in the previous heat. Tom Robertson in 5, and Peter Allen in 3, who looks like he's the one in this second 50 that's pushing a little bit on Andrew. It's a hard race to do, 200 fly. You just don't want to overdo it in this first 100, but if you don't go out quick enough, you just haven't got enough to come back, so it's a tough one to judge.
Well, I'll be looking for somewhere sub 210 should do it, I think, Tony, you would imagine. Right. And he's leading 3. Certainly on course to do that one. Sid Argillan going well, also bringing himself back into contention right up there in lane number 7. So 4 swimmers stretching away. Well, we see 4 swimmers qualify from a single heat before for that top 8. And, well, could it happen this time? Andrew Bertolli looking like he's going to make sure of that position in that final 131.23. And the other 3 all in the 134 range. So
it's going to be tight, this one. And the last heat, I guess, have the advantage of knowing what they've got to do. So these guys they're all swimming kind of over their pacing. So they've got to be careful that they don't do that too much. Tom Robertson coming through strongly on this last 50. Clearly keen not to miss out. And but Andrew Bertolli looking pretty smooth here. And he's pulled through in this last 50 well, 204.05, so he's going to take that one. He will comfortably be in that final. Tom Robertson, 279. Got to think he is too. Peter just edging out Sidder by 500s. Is that going to make the difference? We will have to wait and see.
Well, I think they are 5th and 6th.
Okay,
so it could. 1 heat to come. Yeah, I think second place in the last heat was 2.9.12, so there we go. Top 6 at the moment. 6th place, 209.40. There is the final heat. Edward Mills, Highland, Matthew Holland, Wolverhampton, Scott Fleming, University of Stirling, Tom Bealey. University of Aberdeen, Callum Rose. Edinburgh University, Fraser Titlow. University of Aberdeen Performance, Ross Anderton, East Lothian, and Levi Clark, Glenalbin. Well, Tom Bealey, the only swimmer in the field with an entry time under the 2-minute mark. Again, 4th place in the British Championships. He's been around for a while now.
Been a long time, hasn't he? Yeah.
Commonwealth Games swimmer.
Yeah.
For Scotland, got that late call up for the Commonwealth Games team. Tom Bealey, and I know maybe another one who's got his eyes on another Commonwealth Games appearance.
You think so? He's got to be in there with a shout. He's the specialist flyer in the field. Duncan Scott's broke the Scottish records earlier in the year, I think, in this pool, Edinburgh International. I think he did a super 200 fly. Tom Bealey's gone out with some intent here on that second 50. He's really pulled away from Callum. So 57.8. That's the fastest by a margin for Tom. Callum trying to stick with him. I took half a second there on that second 50. Who's got it in the third one? Scott Fleming up there in lane 3 as well. He's just moved to Stirling University from the South Lanarkshire setup. And good flyer, Scott, as he comes through. And it's still Tom Bealey, who's still in the lead, but Callum's pushing him as they go on that last 50. So Callum is the fastest in the pool, 1:30.03 across the two of them. So they're 2.5 up on the previous heats. Tom not wanting to get beaten here, so he's pushing on hard, but Callum's pushing him well. As they come up to the final 25, who's going to get the edge on this one, do you think?
It's going to be close. Tom Bealey just holding on, but Callum Rose coming back very, very strongly indeed, and I think it's going to be all on the touch here. Tom Bealey might just get it, and he does, just by 0.2 of a second. 2:02.05, 2:02.29. Scott Fleming should be in as well on 2:06. 2:09.41 is just going to miss out, I think, for Fraser Titlow. And I think you're right, that touch in the previous heat. And
just do it.
Tony Rose obviously commentating on Callum Rose. How do you think the young man's done?
He did well. He's been injured. He had an elbow surgery 3 or 4 months ago that took a while to get diagnosed and treated, but I think he'll be happy with that. It's a PB, so good swim back for him.
Could do nothing more than a PB, and that was excellent. He'll be in the final line in second place.
Looks like
behind Tom Bealey. Oh well, that'll be an exciting one tonight, Tony. So 3 heats it's got on the graphic there of the relays. I think we're only going to see 2 this morning, because the fastest heat is going to be in the final session tonight. So 2 relays for us to enjoy, and then of course we have the swim off as well that we mentioned a little bit earlier. We'll bring you details of that when we have it. So mixed medley relay, 4x100 metres. The times for all the heats will be compared. Of course, it's almost like a heat declared winner, isn't it? Because you can win it from these morning's heats. It's the fastest heat tonight. It's not progression to the final. So the fastest heat will swim tonight. But any teams here can set times for those teams tonight to chase.
Be a bit of an ask, but you never know.
Yeah, well.
You never know.
Never know what can happen in a relay. Lots of things.
Well, we might get them all disqualified in the final session.
So the lineup here: Carnegie, closest to us with the black cap. Bellshill, Dumfries, Best. Carnegie B team. It's Carnegie C actually closest to us. Carnegie B team in 5. Alnwick Dolphins, Glenalbin B team, and Renfrew Baths. That is what we are at with this one. It's a mixed relay. 2 male and 2 female. And some of the male swimmers stretching out in these early stages. Carnegie B team off to a start. We can see the scoreboard there, Tony. Is that Nathan Wilson, does that say, for Carnegie?
It is Nathan Wilson, yep.
On the opening leg.
And in
a little bit of an angle here for this scoreboard, an acute angle for me.
I can just see it. So Ruben Pearson in lane 2. He's swimming for Bells Hill. And then in lane 6 we've got Tom Robinson, the Anik Dolphin swimmer. And it's always an intriguing one, mixed medleys, isn't it? When you've got male, female over 100, it can absolutely turn. And there's a complete split here. We've got 4 male swimmers going first, and we've got 4 female swimmers as well. So who knows how this one's going to unwind.
I think the bulk of the swimmers on breaststroke look like they are female swimmers, but a couple of male swimmers as well. And again, Carnegie have gone out with their 2 male swimmers on the first 2 legs. So Tyler Spalding is hoping to get them a little bit of a lead, but the chased by the 2 female swimmers on either side here.
Harriet is going well in lane 6, the Anik Dolphin swimmer. She's really coming back strong, as is in lane 2. Is that Charlotte Shanks, I think it is. Tyler, we saw him do well in his individual 100 earlier on. Youngster though, so any age group in these are open relays, so anything at all goes in terms of age groups.
Coming through strongly is Rory Webster in at lane number 3 for Dumfries. Might be bringing them through into second position here. And again, on the butterfly, mostly male swimmers here, so we could see a little bit of a change round here.
So leader going off for the female swimmer. See Gemma Brown. Can she hang on here? Got a big lead though, hasn't she? We've got a female swimmer in 3 as well. That's Anna Dunlop. We've got William Oliver coming through in lane 6 for Anik Dolphins. And out there in lane 8 is Max Buchanan from Renfrew Baths. They've quite a lot of ground to make. Gemma still out there. Does look like Anna's getting reeled in by William and then Max. I think they're going to be into second and third by the end of this fly leg, but still a lot of water between Carnegie in 5 and the rest of them. Are they going to be able to judge this right? Strong swim here from Gemma. William is really pushing hard on Anna, but she's doing well. She's just still only now been overtaken, Anna, with only 15 metres to go. Gemma for Carnegie, going to hand over to Amber Niven.
Oh, she's going to be tough to catch, I think, Amber Niven. But in lane number 3, looks like Rhys Edwards going in 3 for Dumfries might be the most likely to try and catch up. Also going in lane number 7 as well, the Glenalbin swimmer coming back strongly. And, well, Rhys Edwards doing a great job in that first 50. I think it might be Dumfries who might take this one, but Glenalbin also in the mix, really closed up there. Look at that gap, a 4.5 second difference there. He's only a second down now, and Dumfries are going to take the lead with Glenalbin possibly coming through into second place.
It's always tough. Female swimmer in the last leg of these mixed relays when you got male and open swimmers breathing down your neck. Is David Grabowski going to grab that third place? No doubt about it though. Rhys Edwards brings the Dumfries team in to take it. Oh, who's going to get third? Oh,
it was 2 100s.
Oh, it's cruel.
So Dumfries pretty much bang on their entry time. Their entry time 4:28.22, 4:28.28, consistent stuff.
Very good.
Glenalbin in second position, an improvement on their entry time, and it was the team from Best who just got ahead of Carnegie in the closing stages there. Heat number 2, there are the teams. The Dumfries B team go in lane 1, Carnegie A team into Highland A team in 3, City of Glasgow Junior team in 4, Stirling Swim B team in 5, Glenrothes A team in 6, Geary A team in 7, and the Glenalbin A team in lane number 8. What are they starting with now, Tony? 2, 3 again, half and half, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe not.
No,
Actually,
somebody.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 female swimmers.
Yep. And this is, I think, the only junior team in the event in lane 4. City of Glasgow. Maybe some in the final heat, but they've not indicated that they are, so they just need to successfully negotiate this one.
We shouldn't be sitting at these stairs here. People start talking to us.
Louis Lawler just passing us by, always a
Yes,
character,
yes.
Louis. He's one of the characters of Scottish swimming, and didn't seem particularly happy with his swims this morning, but didn't look too down about it, which is good to see. I'm sure he'll come back strong this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see Louis make that Paralympic team
He was.
last year for the second time. His second Paralympic Games. Well, he'll be back tonight. Anyway, good start here in lane number 3. Looks like the Highland team. Again, as we said, 3 male swimmers taking the start on this backstroke, and 5 female swimmers. So as we saw in the previous heat, things can change about. We have to wait until the very end before we see how things are going to pan out in this mixed relay. Highland though, off to a good start. Glenrothes in lane number 6, going well. Noah Cunningham in for Glenrothes.
Oh,
in lane number 6.
he's had a busy
Again,
morning, I think, hasn't he?
apparently.
You're absolutely convinced he's had a busy morning, and I'm not doubting you for a minute.
Jed Armitage though is going to lead them through in this first leg, and he will hand over to the female swimmer Ava Robertson. Glenrothes in second, and Brogan Smith will go in second. So Glenrothes started with the 2 male swimmers, Tony.
Okay.
So the others probably have to play catch up on the Glenrothes team. We're just about taking the lead now. Going ahead of Ava Robertson in lane number 3 from Highland. But mostly male breaststrokers in here. I think Ava Robertson probably the only female breaststroker, and they're all closing up on Ava.
Lane 5, Lachlan Small is the swimmer from Stirling Swimming, and he is coming back on Brogan. He's trying hard to stick at it and stay ahead, Brogan, but it's got a number of years on Lachlan. Lachlan has reeled him back in a wee bit. Ava's held her own though. She's still in third, getting pushed hard in 7 and 8. But it's in Amelia Burrell. And up against Ethan Collins, a Stirling swimmer. So Glenrothes got reeled in now. Strong start from Ethan.
Yeah, again, it's a little bit of a mixture, I think. Half and half, I think, on the butterfly, male and female. Stirling Swim, though, got a little bit of an advantage. And on the last leg, again, it's mostly female swimmers, apart from one, I think I can see, possibly 2.
Yeah, lane 7.
Yeah.
It's only lane 7, I think.
Only
no,
lane
7 and 8. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 7. So
they're some way behind.
They're
so
going to have to go some.
Yeah. This could be a winner skier, potentially. Ethan Collins on this final leg. The Ellen White, I think that's the name, if I've said that correctly, from the craning my neck round the corner.
Ella Cunningham in lane 4. The City of Glasgow junior team. So that's Nikolai Cisna in for them now. Ella Cunningham, and in third it's Charlie Adams in 3. Highland swim team. It's Innes Gow out there in 7, the solitary male and open swimmer in this last leg. Is he going to pull back on these swimmers ahead of him? He's got Caitlin Kirk and Gala Pete in 6 and 8 around him, and he's already made some ground on them. So he's about a second up. It's going to be tough for him to do, but no doubt about the winners here. This is a super swim from the Stirling swim team. This is Ellen White coming in. They came in on a 4:18. They're going to be not dissimilar to last heat, where they're going to be just about where they were on their entry. 4:18.4. So that's pretty close.
Tenth of a second.
Glasgow team, and assuming no disqualification, they're going to take the junior title. And in lane 8, it's Glenabon over from Ireland, who take that 3rd place in that heat. So that was good. That was an exciting race there, as ever with these mixed medley relays. And we have got one more race, as we said. We've got a swim off. I think this is the female 100 freestyle. And it's Caitlin Ibbage and Ashley Drake.
What's that for, Tony?
100 free to get in the B final, I think. It's either I think it's to get first reserve, second reserve for the B final.
Aye.
By the looks of things.
Always opportunity to get another swim. What did they go in the heats?
I can tell you that. And 59.23, and I'm going to put my neck on the line, and Ashley's going to get this one. She is renowned for her relay stroke swim-off swimming. She absolutely blasts it every time, and I'm just got a funny feeling that she's going to go a 58 mid.
Oof.
Here we go. Don't let me down, Ashley. Don't let me down.
People are going to be thinking we're watching this. We're watching replays.
Well, no, she might well not. But that's my prediction. But we've got a time delay, have we? Got time lapse.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
here we go. Caitlin Ibbage, Ashley Drake.
Caitlin Ibbage in 4, so closest to us. Ashley Drake. And not much of a difference in the start there. The reaction times 0.68, 0.71. Caitlin Ibbage got a bit of a lead, Tony.
She has. And that'll be no problem if she does. It's not that much in it, I don't think, as they come into the wall at the 50. So 28.82, 29.1, so really not a lot in it at the 50 mark.
They're going to be there or thereabouts, so their heat time, I think, 59 point off those splits. But here comes Ashley Drake now coming back strongly. Caitlin Ibbage just holding on, I think, but Ashley Drake now coming alongside Caitlin Ibbage. Has she timed this one perfectly with the red cap of Warrender? It's all going to come down to the touch. It is going to be Ashley Drake, and look at that, 59.31. Well, she did pull it out the bag, Tony. Great swim there from Ashley Drake in that second 50, just to get ahead of Caitlin Ibbage. Caitlin Ibbage put absolutely everything into that, and well, very close
indeed.
Times.
Close to the 8 times, but a really good swim there. Nice, lovely way to finish the morning swimming. Great race, always good to have a swim off, and that'll be Ashley's second reserve for the B final this evening. Final start at 5:30, as you can see on the screen. Next session, which will be the slower heats of the same events running again. We'll start coverage at 12:55. Swimming starts at 1 o'clock, so we've got an hour of break. You can go and enjoy some of your day, and hopefully see you back here in about an hour's time. So that's from me, Tony Rose, and Paul Noble. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, and we'll hopefully be rejoined by you this afternoon. Have a good lunchtime.